Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. How's everybody doing tonight? Breeze, Tyler, Erwin. Let me turn it on over here. We got a bunch of cool topics to talk about tonight, and we got a cool story too. I've told this story in the past, but it's been a long time, so might as well go over it again. So the knife. I'll wait for people to come in here for that. The heck's it called? The play button. The play button, the plaque for the 100K. I found out I have to fill out for it. So I filled out the thing for it. So we shall see when it comes. They have to go over my channel and investigate it and do all that good stuff. Make sure I haven't bought views and subscribers and all that stuff, and then I'll be getting my plaque. So after I get my plaque in your face, birdshot, for making it seem like I bought views. No, I'm just joking. But no, they do have to. That's what they do. They go through your channel, make sure you got a legit channel, and and all that good stuff. Make sure you didn't do that. Yada yada. So probably take, I think, like 2 weeks to 30 days. They said it can take up to 30 days for them to evaluate your channel. So we'll see how it goes. But as soon as we get the plaque, we will be doing a big celebration on the channel live. So that will be amazing. Everybody's invited, obviously. I will probably do an announcement for it so everybody knows, because I'll be, obviously doing a giveaway and stuff. So now that we got some people in here, the knife sale, I did record it. It's all ready. I didn't post it. And the reason why I didn't post it is because I realized I did the whole thing. I didn't do it in cuts. I did it all in one. It's a big knife sale, guys. I mean, it's huge. So I know after I post it, I'm going to have to be full attention to the email. So I'm sharpening all day tomorrow. I do have the Bang Gang live tomorrow. So after that, right after that goes live, I'll post that video. So that's how it will go. The knife sale will go up right after that. Hopefully I'll have it ready to just click right on. But, excuse me. But yeah, so watch out for that, guys. I mean, there's some amazing knives in there, everywhere from budget knives all the way up to the top tier, badass stuff. So everybody's going to want to see it, whether, like I said, whether you like budget knives or you like premium knives. There's a lot of goodies in there. There was even some that I thought about buying myself. So really, really good stuff. And just so you guys know, I'm not I made the rules cut and dry in the beginning. I'm not accepting emails of questions, asking for pictures or anything like that. You see it in the video. You either want it or not. If I sat there and answered questions or anything like that about any of the knives, I would be there trying to sell them for a month. So it's just cut and dry. You either want it or you don't. If you want it, you tell me. And I have a separate email that's going in the description. You guys will hear all the rules in the beginning of the video. Just got the Workshop Precision Adjustable System, and I love it. It's made sharpening so much more easier. Nice, Logan. I do recommend, even if you don't get the stone holder attachment where you can get any stone you want, I highly recommend you get that little base or make your own. It will help you so much because the base flexes on that system. But if you get the clamp base that you can get, there's a 3D printed version. If you watch my aftermarket attachments video, you can click the link to an Etsy thing and get one, or you just make your own. You can cut a piece of wood out if you want, but making one it'll make your edges so much cleaner. It's hard not to let that thing flex. So it's email only. It's email only, because if I'm not going to mix up everything with my stuff. Just remember, this isn't my knives. These are somebody else's. These are on consignment. This is not my knives. These are somebody else's. And my knife sale will be going up after that, but that'll be to the patrons first, not public. This is a public knife sale, so it will be on a separate email, not my regular email. Is the Cortex in there? I'm not going to tell you guys what's in there, but no, the Cortex is not in there. But there's some great stuff, though. I think you guys are going to be surprised some of the damn knives that are in there, and they're all brand new. I think there was maybe a couple with like that had like a tiny bit of wear, and not like wear on the blade or anything, but like as if it maybe was put in a pocket once. But all the rest of them are. Hey, shout out to the Bang Gang Squad. Will, thank you for becoming a member. Tomorrow we do have a live for the Bang Gang members, so watch out for that. That will be at noon. How do I cut the wood to make the mount if my knife isn't sharp? Yeah, this is a chicken and egg situation. Yeah, I guess that would be a little tough. You might want to use a saw, maybe a little hand saw or something. I'm sure Breeze, I'm sure you could figure out how to cut a piece of wood, but I see what you're saying. But the 3D printed one is really good because it rotates and it goes up like a jack. So it's basically like putting a jack underneath the clamp for the precision guided system. I love it. It works great. The only thing is that once you start using that, you have to pull the clamp out and flip it every time. But it literally like doesn't change anything. It's just as easy because you wind up getting a system down where you grab the mount and the clamp at the same time. You pull it out, you flip it, and put it right back in. Because I had so many comments on my shorts of like when I did the short on the workshop precision guided system, as if they were teaching me something because they seen me pulling the clamp out and flipping it and putting it back in. They're like, you can just push the button in the back. It's like, yeah, I know, man. Like I've got multiple videos on. I think I even said in the short, like I have a full video on this, but I use aftermarket parts on mine, so it's a little different. But yeah, it just is what it is. So we're going to talk about cleaning, maintaining strops in this live, and we're also going to talk about a little bit of honing. Now, I do want to address oh yeah, I did a little social experiment too. I'll talk about that here in a second. And but knives, we talked about this the last live, but I want to talk about it again because man, I just got done talking about it 5 times to some of the commenters, and I know it doesn't matter, and sometimes people are just trolls or whatever, but these comments that I keep getting like about knives and like a certain knife, right? Like whatever knife, like that's not a good self-defense weapon. It's like, first of all, a knife's a tool first, right? Like a knife's not a self-defense weapon. A knife is a tool first. But when you break down self-defense, right, at least in my mind, right, everybody always relates self-defense with a human. Always. Not saying that that's not a possibility. Of course it is. It's a strong possibility. But you have an even stronger possibility of something else being a threat. Like, like say if you got into a car accident, your seatbelt, who knows? Like so many different things, right? Like I talked about last week, a dog attack, so a dog jumping over a fence and choking themselves to death. I know that's not self-defense. That's, something else. But the point is that self-defense comes in many different shapes, sizes, forms, and different ways. So a knife is a great self-defense item when you look at it like that. When you're looking at it like as an attacker, like a human being, like then no, I wouldn't think. I would say anything. A rock is probably a better self-defense item, because once you're in close quarters like that, it's definitely nasty. So, but not saying you can't do it. Obviously anything you can use, you're going to use. You're going to do whatever you got to do to survive. But I think of the knife like say if you were going to say, because a lot of people always say like, oh, that's what I got a gun for. I always read that comment. That's what I got a gun for. No shit, asshole. Like, what's that got to do with the knife? Like the knife is the tool you use for like, okay, like let's just say, right? Like the seatbelt thing, right? You roll your car, your seatbelt. Can't get it unbuckled. You're going to shoot it off, right? You know, like I said about the dog jumping over a fence, and choking himself to death. You're going to shoot it? Like, there's so many different things, like, I could think of a million different things that could happen to you. A rope getting around you, so many different things. It's like your gun is self-defense for a human, right? Your knife is self-defense for everything else and for other things, right? It's a cutting tool. It's a cutting object. You can think of it, everything from opening things up to making things just easier, picking, prying, prodding, whatever. But it's weird that people in the comments, and they think for some reason that like their mind only works one direction with a knife. And it's so weird to me. And then I think about the knife they're carrying. And it's like, yeah, of course you don't think a knife, like could ever do anything, because your knife can't do anything anyways. And going into that, I did a little social experiment where I carried a dull knife for a couple days. I carried a dull knife for a couple days just to feel like you guys. Not you guys, everybody else, right? You guys, of course not, right? But everybody else. I wanted to feel like how they felt for a day or two, because I always get the comment. This is another one. Do you even need a knife that sharp? Does a knife need to be that sharp? It's like, well, maybe not as sharp as I make them, but I like them to be, right? But they definitely need to be sharp. And people who make that comment, I always think about how dull their knife is. Like, it's got to be ridiculously dull. And I carried around a knife, and I used it until it got, ridiculously dull. And yeah, I don't want to do that again. Like, it pushes through everything. It doesn't cut anything. And even when it's like semi dull, or sorry, like not semi sharp, but it's like it can almost cut paper, right? Or it can cut paper, but it's really not that clean. It's still, when you try to cut something, like when you try to cut flaps off a cardboard box or try to cut a cardboard box down, it just pushes through it and mushes through it. You don't cut nothing clean. Trying to cut anything clean, it just tears it, rips it, pushes through. Like, yeah, tape, you could cut some tape on a box. So if that's all you're doing, then maybe you don't. But then when it does come a time where you actually do need a sharp knife, you are fucked, sir. It's like you're going to walk around with a dull knife just because you could do things with a dull knife, or the thing you do the most you could do with a dull knife, I should say. Why not have a sharp knife? Because it still works just as good doing the dumb thing that you do every day that you could use a dull knife for. And then if you needed a sharp knife, you got one, right? Your knife would last that much longer sharp. But yeah, it was not fun at all. And I was doing it for fun. So obviously at any moment I could grab a sharp knife if I really needed one, but I didn't. And I just dealt with it. And I couldn't help but just think like to me, I guess you'd have to have the perspective of not knowing what a real sharp knife is to feel the way I felt. I guess the way they feel is that they don't really, like I said before, they think a factory are just the sharpest their knife will ever get. They don't really understand the perspective of really sharp. And then I get these comments. This was hilarious. I literally whittle a hair. I cut paper, I whittle a hair, and I cut paper towel and then a paper towel roll in a video. And I always get the comment about the cutting the paper part and how, what was one? I know they're trolling me, but they're like, that's it. Like that, like making it seem like that didn't prove anything. I forget the exact comments they made, but basically to just boil it down, like that didn't prove anything. And say, well, what do you want me to do, man? If whittling a hair doesn't prove that this knife is sharp, well, what's going to prove it to you? Cutting paper towel doesn't prove it to you. I don't know what will. I'm still getting better at sharpening, watching a lot of your videos, starting to understand steel types and edge angles also. Thanks, Neves. Yeah, heck, I mean, Everybody starts somewhere, and even if it boils down where you don't have the time or you can't really sharpen, you can always use a service like mine or Mike Emler's and, get it sharp and then just be good at stropping, be good at honing, and do the best you can. That's what it boils down to. Just do the best you can. And there's a lot you could do with a strop, man. There's so much you can do with a strop and with a hone. Blades and Fades is in the house. Shout out to Blades and Fades. Definitely go and follow his channel. Of course, you can use a full knife under PB&J peanut butter is murder on an edge. Let's actually talk about the stropping and honing. So I want to talk about cleaning a strop and then honing really quick, because I think honing is a very important thing that everybody should be able to do super easily. Even if you're not able to sharpen a knife, honing is something that anybody can do. It's super, super easy. I think even a lot of times it's easier than stropping, to be honest. Now, that doesn't take away the benefits of the strop, because the strop is super important. Because, excuse me, the way I like to think about it is the strop is your day-to-day maintenance. When that stops working, then you hone. If honing doesn't work, then you sharpen, right? And honing, basically, the real reason why you do it is to realign an edge, or like you'll get nicks in an edge, and you'll have, like, say if this is your keen edge, right? Your two sides of your edge bevel, you'll have one spot that's off like that, like my fingers are right now. It's not perfect, it's off. And you're pushing my fingers or the edge back to true. That's one way to look at it. So when you have the little nicks in the edge, you can straighten them all out. Now, also, it depending on your stone and what you're using for honing, and we're going to talk about that in a second, you can add a little bit of bite to it. But if you straighten it out first, then you can go to the strop and add the little bit of bite to the edge if you don't have a honing stone that would create bite. And then you can also just use the strop to clean it up anyways. But honing stones first. Now, in the kitchen, and actually, I just think it's a really good tool to have regardless. If you don't have one, a rod, a ceramic specifically. Now, why don't I recommend honing steel, like the rods you get in your chef blocks? Those suck. Don't get those. Get rid of those. Now, one reason why is because what that is it's like honing steel. It's like a hardened steel, but that might work decently on some cheap chef knives. But when we're talking about our knives, no, you can't use that. It won't work. Your steel is most likely harder than that rod. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but it probably is. And the rod doesn't do any justice. It doesn't do any good. You want ceramic. Ceramic is extremely hard, way harder than our steel, way, way harder. And it definitely cuts and is effective to steel, guaranteed. So I definitely recommend a honing or a ceramic rod. Now, the rod is really good for so many things. However, I personally prefer to hone on a flat stone, whether it's a little tiny one, right? A little tiny stone that I can hold in my hand, or a big flat stone, which I'm going to take this out in a second. But these are good for so many other things too. Knocking off your burr, like say in the middle of sharpening, you can deburr with it. You can micro bevel with it. That's another really good thing. Honing steel is for aligning an edge, not really sharpening. Well, right. Same thing with honing. Honing's for you can use it in so many different ways. And the same thing, that's what I mean. Like instead of using the rod, you use the ceramic. It works a lot better. Now, depending on the purpose and what you're doing, depends on the pressure you're going to want to use. You really don't want to use a lot of pressure when honing. Sometimes maybe a little bit, but not much at all, because especially like with ceramic, it's really hard. The surface is extremely hard, so you don't need much pressure. But everybody's seen this chef where they back and forth. You can do that with your kitchen knives. something like this will actually get you a pretty keen edge doing that, but you're creating a bunch of micro bevels basically when you do that, unless if you can really hold that angle perfect. So if you're actually going to do it, don't do it like that, like a chef, like back and forth. Try to make sure you're holding the angle perfectly when you go down on both sides the same way each time. But when you're actually honing, right? So you have, and that's just straightening out your edges. Basically, what that's doing, you're going to do like 2 swipes per side. And like I said, when your edge is not true and you have a spot that's off, like a little chip, not a chip, but like a roll, and your edge is rolled, you're realigning it. And you're only going to do a couple passes per side. Now, the reason why I like a flat stone over a round stone, which a round stone works great, I'm not denying it. Like I said, this is useful in that way and many other ways, a ceramic rod. But I prefer a flat stone, whether it's a small one or a big one, because I can lay my edge bevel on it. And to me, and this is a personal thing, so this is just my opinion, it's easier for me to lay my angle on a flat stone than it is a round stone. It might be easier for you to do a round stone. It's hard to say. But until you try it. Move this stuff. So what you want to do is, it's pretty easy to find your angle because this is such a flat, hard stone, and it's not like a coarse diamond plate. And by the way, this can represent any really high grit stone for the most part. Maybe not all, but most, like any ceramic, Arkansas, the Neve, things like that. Maybe not a diamond plate, but a resin bonded diamond stone, yes, you could. So you're going to find your angle, which would be pretty easily. You can see it pretty easily. And you can even see it from the backside pretty good when you got the angle. You'll always see light shining through. But anyways, you just want to get close, lay your angle on there, get it nice and close to the angle. And then no pressure though, no pressure. And you just give yourself a nice pass. Now you can actually feel the spots on the edge that you're going to realign. Like even if you watch as my blade goes across, you'll actually see it hiccuping. Right there. Right there. Right there again. There's a bunch of them in this one. Right there. See how it started moving and it stops? Right there. It's like hung up right there right now. So right now I got to kind of put a little pressure to get it to move, because right now it won't move. I'm putting a little, there it goes. Those were all little nicks in the edge that needed to be realigned. No, I need to do the other side. And then I would do both sides back and forth. This side wasn't as bad. This one still has a couple spots. Let me back up so you guys can see me. There it goes. And then that would basically be it. A couple passes per side. And I bet you this edge would cut some paper right now. I want to show you this new paper I got. But it's the edge before. This edge would not cut paper. It's been trash for a little bit. Because I've been using the heck out of it. It needs an edge bad. I still need to resharpen it, so I'm still gonna resharpen it, but see that? Look at that. Now before I should have showed you guys. It was hiccuping in the like jumping in the paper, wanting to tear the paper. But then you would go to the strop, right? Now you can also use a hone like for, how can I put this? Like as a finishing stone to redo the finish. If you're good at holding your angle, this does take a little bit high level skill, because just honing it like I just did, realigning your edge and, basically getting it back to true all the way from heel to tip, That's actually pretty easy to do because even if you hold your angle a little high, it's not going to damage it at all. But when you start trying to reapply the finish to it, like say if I had a 2000 grit finish on here and I wanted to reapply the 2000 grit finish, I would have to make sure I'm holding my angle perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to look like a whole bunch of micro bevels going back and forth, and you'll see a bunch of facets in my edge. But just doing 2 passes per side very lightly, no pressure, that's easy to do. And you would be surprised how effective it is, especially on a ceramic. And that's why I always recommend a ceramic rod. Like I have so many different ceramic plates. I have multiple different small ones, multiple different big ones, rods. Now after doing that, I can move my mic. I can give myself a little strop. Now this strop needs to be cleaned, so I'm going to show you guys one. Oh man, there's something on. I gotta clean this thing. I use it on all my customs. What do you use for your customs? Nice Sergeant says, my electric can opener has a built-in sharpener in the back. Works better than sharpener. Yeah, he's being funny, guys. Don't listen to that. He uses it on all his customs. I'd like to see a video on that, actually, Sergeant. That would make a great video, don't you guys think? I think we should all cheer for Knife Sergeant to make a video out of that one. Is the KME worth it? Yes, absolutely. $200, you get the stone sharpening system. That's probably the best bang for your buck with quality. Like the Worksharp Precision Guided Sharpener would be the best bang for your buck for a budget. You know, like if you don't have the money to spend on it, like something like a KME, but if you have the money, the KME is great. Going next would be like the TS Prof. But you don't need to. You could get incredible results with the KME. And you can get just about any stones you want. That's a great system. But if you got the money, I mean, obviously you want to get the best system you can afford. That's what you want to do. The best system you can afford, especially if you have a good collection. If you're sharpening good knives, good collection, I mean, think about it. Really, I mean, you don't want to be doing $1,000 knives on $100 system, right? You want to do the best work possible. Not saying you can't get a great edge on the $100 system. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that it takes the more money you spend, the more troubles that are removed. Basically, the less work you have to do, the less struggles, the less flex, the less this, the less that, and basically the more easier it can get. I got Hapstones. Haven't used it yet. Looking forward to it. Nice. Terry says, yes, great video of the can opener. Yes, see? We're rooting for you, Sergeant. We are rooting for this can opener sharpening system. I gotta see it, man. I gotta see it in action. Okay, so strop. This is there is just like with anything. There's a bunch of ways to skin a cat. There's a lot of ways to clean your strop. One quick, easy way, especially with the paste, almost specifically to the paste. When you have the stuff that looks like a crayon, that type of stropping compound, you can take a dull knife, a knife you need to sharpen, right? Don't take a fresh edge. Take a knife you're gonna need to sharpen anyways. Or a knife that you don't use for anything good. And you can take and you can just scrape it. See that? Look at all that. See that stuff? See that? And you can scrape it clean. This is just one quick way to do it. You're trying not to really gouge the leather too much. Shit. Hitting the thing. Sorry, guys. Now, You can, there's other things you can do, like you can add oil or what's it called? Is it vegetable oil? Vegetable oil, Vaseline, things like that that will basically make it easier to wipe off. That's one good way. It takes the like the wax in the compound and makes it gooey and makes it easier to wipe off. But this works really good for me. Just right over a garbage can. I just scrape it really good, especially like the really thick areas, the areas that have built up really hard and really thick. And I just give it a good scraping, and I'm basically scraping a thin layer of leather off of my strop. And then you can use the Vaseline? Yeah, Vaseline. And then you can use the Vaseline, rub it on the leather, and it'll make the compound basically just like slide off. So like you could take like right there, from right there, apply a little Vaseline, and then just wipe it back and forth. I would go a little bit more, a couple thick areas. This is the dense leather, by the way. The furry leather, you can do the same thing too. But I'm not really damaging the surface too much because I'm not gouging it. I'm just letting the edge just scrape it. Just shaving a thin layer. I'm really not even damaging the leather right now. I'm mostly just getting the compound. But if your leather is really damaged and like you really fucked that thing up, you're going to have to take a thin layer of leather off. But like I said, the Vaseline works really good too, along with this. Knock it clean. Clean your edge off. And then like this is ready to reapply, or I could add Vaseline and clean the rest of this off, because now I've gotten all the thick stuff off of it. I'm ready to reapply now on this. I could reapply with this, or I could continue going at it, get it all the way clean. Just depends on how much work you really want to do. I have a lot of strops. This one isn't my real important one, but I still like to take care of it either way. Well, well, if you have a lot of that laying around, Knife Sergeant, yes, it will. I'm sure it will. What else works? I think just vegetable oil will work too. I haven't used that, but I have used Vaseline. Like stropping compounds, at least when I first started, they used to come with a little packet of Vaseline. The old stropping compounds I used to get, the compounds came with a little tiny packet of Vaseline, and that was actually made for you to put on the leather before you put it on. So you would just lightly rub it on the leather. I think that's how it went. And then you'd put the compound on, or maybe you put the compound on and then the Vaseline and massage it around. One or the other. I don't use that stuff anymore. Ever since Knife Sergeant showed me the Astro Glide trick. No, I'm just joking. But no, I haven't used it in a while. I just scrape it dry, reapply. You can use the Vaseline though. It does work really good. It makes that stuff like go across the surface really good. But lately, I've been using tons of gunny juice. So the gunny juice has just been amazing to me. I love the gunny juice. I probably most likely won't buy any other compounds unless if a company sends some to me or something like that, because that's how much I like the gunny juice. And man, I got fucking compounds for days. I got probably 15 different kinds of green compounds, 10 different kinds of white compounds. My favorite green compound is actually the stuff that sharpeningsupplies.com sells. It comes in a big block like this. Really good stuff. Neevesknives compounds, I still got a shit ton of that. So I got so many compounds. Like even if I wanted to use something different besides the gunny juice, I got it. So, but that gunny juice is great. You could just skip all the nonsense and send your knives to Neevesknives Sharpening Service. No need for any equipment or effort. That's true. That is true. You could always do that. And if you've messaged me, I started getting to some messages. I got to a bunch of them, but I am still backed up on messages. So if I haven't gotten to your message, no worries. I will get to it. Just be patient with me. So KPL sent me some stuff, which is very awesome. We're going to check that stuff out now. So some stuff I've never used yet. Let's check this box out without my address being shown like it probably just was. So they sent me these. I have not used these yet. These are, maybe I'll give some of these to you guys too. These are little tiny Q-tips with a little tiny head on it, so you can get into pivots and stuff like that. It's really tiny. So like if you wanted to clean it without taking it apart, you can get into all these little crevices, or when it's taken apart, you can get around the pivot track and things like that. So good. Detent holes, all the good stuff. This is awesome. So I had bought a pack of these and they never showed up. And then I guess I said something to Lefty. Lefty said something to KPL, I think, or somebody did. I'm not positive who did. Somebody did. And they contacted me and sent me a whole box of stuff. So shout out to KPL. They're awesome. I didn't say anything. I didn't even care, to be honest. It wasn't a big deal. These are only a couple bucks. But these are awesome. I'm actually glad they sent me a whole bunch of these. Now, we got more than that, though. Next, we have some KPL Knife Shield. I haven't tried it yet. I should just give one of these bottles to you guys because I got two. So I should just give one to you guys. And we're going to talk about that here in 1 second. And I got 2 packs of the KPL, which I have not tried the light stuff yet. So we got the ultra light, which I haven't tried, the medium and the heavy, the original and the heavy. Now the original and the heavy, I love that stuff. I never bought the ultra light because I love the original. The original is so good for pivots, and the heavy is the best for detents. I don't think a company could make a better detent lube or detent oil because it's heavy, so it's like a gel, and you put it on the detent ball, and it stays on the detent ball and coats it like a gel. So it doesn't just like ooze around or anything. It's actually, you have to actually squeeze the bottle to get it to come out. Because, and even though it's a needle tip applicator, I love this stuff, the KPL Heavy. So it's a needle applicator. So this is the stuff I've been using for a long time. Now I still have the original bottle I first bought. It's like damn near empty. And I've already got another bottle that I've been using. But this stuff is sure to last you. And I go through a lot of knives, guys, a lot of fucking knives. So it took me like a year and a half to go through one bottle. That's a long time. So you can imagine how long it would take one of you guys to go through one of these bottles. They're damn worth the money. Definitely. I cannot recommend KPL enough. I've tried so many different kinds of knife oils, so many. And I'm not saying this just because they sent this to me. I've been saying this way before they ever sent me anything. Best knife pivot lube. Well, it is knife pivot lube, but the best knife oil you can get. Now, the original is for pivots, for bearings and stuff. The light, I haven't tried, so I can't say whether or not I recommend that or not. I haven't tried it yet. But we'll see. But this is all USA made, by the way. USA made. Let me find it. All USA made. Everything in here. So that's another reason why I like to support them. But it's a great product. Now, a couple other things. One, these things. You guys are probably like, what the hell are those things? These are moisture protectors. So you just throw them in your knife pouches, your knife boxes, whatever. And it says store your knives within 6 inches of the Zerust tab in closed storage container or rust and corrosion prevention for up to 2 years. So one of these tabs within 6 inches of whatever is going to keep it moisture free for up to 2 years. There's 3 in a pack. That's badass. Instead of those little packets, and they last for 2 years. I don't know how long those little packets last. But next, last thing, we have camellia oil. All this stuff, like I said, USA made. We're gonna smell this stuff. I'm actually interested. I only got 1 bottle of this stuff, so I can't give you guys any of this because I want to test this stuff out. But I got doubles of all the other stuff. If somebody wants some. Now, the reason why I'm interested in the smell is because KPL smells good. That's the one thing, is that when you put this on your knife, there's no other oil I can think of that smells good. This stuff does not smell like oil. It makes you want to lick your knife. I mean, it smells literally edible after you put the stuff on there. So you don't have that raunchy oil smell all over your fingers. Like after you put it on your knife and you flip your knife, you don't smell like oil after. It smells good. Kind of like, almost like a cinnamon smell. Maybe not quite cinnamon, but kind of like that. So let's find out what this smells like. It might not be good, so I'm not even trying to pretend like it does. Okay, first of all, this is a displaces moisture, oxygen barrier, prevents corrosion, and eliminates pitting. It's food safe, organic, non-toxic, taste free. So ooh, it's oil for sure. All right, let's try this stuff. These little schmitties. Oh yeah, she's thick. God. Doesn't smell bad. Not at all. Kind of. I keep getting like a hint of coffee. It kind of smells like coffee. Maybe it's because I'm drinking coffee though. I think it smells like coffee. Richard! Where's my damn bell? Thank you. Thank you for the 5 bones. What's up, fellas? What's up with you, Richard? Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. So I'm guessing you spray it on, excuse me, leave it on for a few minutes and then wipe it off. I just wiped it off. I just wanted to check it out really quick. This isn't normally where I do my knife stuff. Normally that's over on my sharpening bench, but I just wanted to check it out with you guys. It's thick. It is thick. It is an oil. The rod goes all the way down to the bottom, so you're not going to have to worry about wasting anything. It says spray on the knife surface, wipe gently, leave a film of oil on all steel surfaces. Apply quickly after each use of knife and after exposure to water, foods, and humidity. So basically, if you're in a crappy environment, then you'd want to use it often. That's basically what it's saying. Somebody like me, I could use it probably once a month. But I guess it's saying like just wipe it on your knife and leave a little film on there, and it's fine. Like it's not going to hurt your food or anything like that because it's food safe. It didn't taste like anything. We'll try it again just in case. I don't want to lie to you guys. Tastes like vegetable oil. Tastes good. Do you like WD-40 for your knife? Not really. And the reason why is kind of like I was just saying, it stinks. You put it on your knife and it makes everything smell like WD-40. However, I'm not saying there's not a time when WD-40 is great for your knife. There's lots of times when like spray your shit down with WD-40, but you know, like you're in the shop or something like that, then maybe. But like if you're not in the shop and there's no reason for you to want WD-40 to like on everything, you want this type of stuff. Because this type of stuff, you can literally, cover your knife and do everything with your knife and it's going to smell good. It's not, your hands won't smell like nothing. Like even right now after touching that, I smell nothing. And if it was KPL, It smells good. Zach, do something kind for someone. Thank you for the 5 bones, Zach. Shout out to Zach. Definitely go and sub to Zach's stuff. Awesome channel. Awesome dude. Thank you, Zach. I do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. We got this other package here. Now, this one is... I only opened one, right? This one is the knife shield. I don't know if I'll use it here. I don't know how it'll be. But... I'm kind of knife back. So this one's I don't get it. Oh, this one's a cleaner. So cleans and degreases, polishes, prevents rust and corrosion on metal surfaces. So this one's a little different. The other one's like an oil you would use to protect your surface. This one's like a cleaner. Cleans, polishes, stuff like that. But also prevents and stuff. It says, I'm not going to try this one. This one don't look edible. But it says that it is. Apply to the moving parts of the folding knives. Not for, oh, never mind. Not for human consumption. So definitely don't eat this one. Shake well before use. Apply 1 to 2 sprays per side of the knife. Allow to sit 10 to 20 seconds. Wipe excess with microfiber cloth or rag. Reapply frequently, especially in wet or corrosive environments. It's called the Knife Shield. USA made. Looks like some decent stuff, though. So, yeah. Definitely recommend anything from KPL, especially now that they're, they sent me a little box of goodies. These things are awesome, man. I've been wanting these for a while, so I'm happy to have those because I clean a lot of knives. And sometimes it's just those little tiny parts, man, where I'm sitting there with a big Q-tip, and the big Q-tip just doesn't work. And a lot of times I'll peel some of the cotton off the big Q-tip, or I'll take something else and use it. This makes it where no worries. This will work good for, like, you can use the big Q-tips for all the big stuff, and then use this for all the little stuff, which is 90% of the stuff you wind up doing with a knife, especially like with detent holes and everything. Mr. 2%, why aren't you slinging kangaroo strips, my man? Yeah, why aren't you doing that? Richard loves the way WD-40 smells. Now, I'm not... See, that's the thing is, I do to an extent. Like I said, when I'm in the shop, I do. But I don't when I'm, like, fresh and clean, Like, there's a time, It's kind of like, I like the smell of gas, too, but I don't like to smell like gas. You know what I mean? I don't want... And then when I'm, like, say... If I'm cutting an apple or something, I don't want my apple to smell like gas. You know what I mean? So, all right. Next thing, now that we have a lot of people in here, just so you guys know, the knife sale is tomorrow. I have the Bang Gang live at noon. After that, we'll go till like 1 o'clock. After that, the knife sale. So I did not post it yesterday because it's entirely way too fucking long. It's long, and I'm going to have to pay attention to my email. So I'm doing all sharpening all day tomorrow. I'm only going to do the Bang Gang live. I doubt I'll even post another video besides the knife sale. So if you guys are wanting some knives, I'm telling you, this is a badass knife sale. Lots of good stuff in here. I'll show you guys a little sneak peek of my notebook. Actually, I'm gonna, because I want to talk to you guys about this notebook. Just don't look at what's on the paper. All right? Don't look at what's on the paper. There's 3 pages of knives. So, anyways. But it goes anywhere from budget stuff all the way to high-end stuff. So there's like a little bit of everything. Now, why I want to show you this paper is because Kara got me this notebook. This is badass. So check this out. It's got this little digital thing right here. All right. So what it does is it's like It's got these pens that come with it. And I can take, and one, I can write on it. All right. Now I can take a picture of this. I can take a picture of this and I can scan the corner and put it in my phone. So I can save anything on this page, and it's washable. And on the back of this, it has an eraser, so I can erase what I just wrote just now. I can erase it, and I can also, it comes with a rag. You can also just wipe it off. So it's cleanable, washable paper, reusable, and you can download the page into your phone. So that's badass. So I go through a lot of notebooks, guys. I know a lot of you guys don't use notebooks anymore. I'm kind of old fashioned, so I don't really write notes in my phone or anything. I always write stuff on paper, and I'm always throwing away notebooks. This is a game changer for me. It makes it where I can write a note, erase it, fix things, and when I'm done, I can wipe the whole page clean and reuse it. And then what I can do is I can say, write a whole page of stuff. So like, say if I have like live ideas or video ideas, I can write them all down, take a picture, or do the thing on my phone. It'll save it to my phone, organized and everything, to this app. It has its own app. And then I can just erase it all. So now I have it saved. So I have the notebook saved in my phone. It's badass. Badass. People swear by WD-40 on catfish bait enhancer. I've never tried that, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Can't you just take a picture of your notes anyways? Yeah, but it's different. You can do that, but you can't erase it. I mean, might as well save the notebook in that case. This way you can erase it, and then you can save it to your phone, and it organizes it. The app is like set up. So it's not like you're just taking a screenshot. Like, you can organize it. I'm not sure exactly how this little guy works. I'm not positive, but I know we've already tested it out, and we did take a picture. It puts it right into the app for you. And like I said, you can organize it into the section you want and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. I know you can do that anyways, but you can't erase the ink with your pen. You can't wipe the page clean. This way you can. Oh, and by the way, just in case if anybody wants to know or anybody cares, because you might not, it's called Rocketbook. So just in case anybody cares. I thought it was cool. I like it. I go through a lot of notebooks. So, and I'm not saying I still won't use the other notebooks, but this makes it for like that disposable stuff that I always write, because I write a lot of disposable shit. All right. So, don't forget, guys, the new Asher knives, early May, late April, early May. If you're wanting to get the new Asher knives, he should have them like late April, early May. So follow his Instagram so you guys can keep up to date and, pay attention late April. So you'll know exactly when they come. It's supposed to be May 15th, but that's at the latest. The live is sponsored by, KBL and Rocketbook. Exactly. Yeah. No, don't you guys be surprised if I'm not sponsored by Manscaped soon. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be surprised. They are in the USA, so that's one good thing. What was the other one? There was another one. I can't even think of the name of it. What, Tej Hanley? Is that what it was? You never know. Never know. It's not knife related, so technically it's not really shilling, right? I mean, it is, but it's not. It is, but it's not. All right, so sharpening with diamond plates instead of resin and polishing your knives. How is that possible? How do you do that without having the resin bonded stones? Because a lot of the diamond plates, when you buy diamond stones, they don't go up that high of a grit. Diamond plates that are regular diamonds, where it's a metal plate and they have the diamonds on the surface, they usually go up to about 1,200 grit. Yes, you can get 2,000 grit and 3,000 grit and things like that, but a lot of times they're not the best. They wear out extremely fast, and a lot of companies don't sell them. And then the ones that do, they're very expensive. Excuse me. So most people only go up to like 1200 grit diamonds. And if they're going to get like a very high grit, they go for resin bonded. But what you can do is if you have this damn gunny juice, I keep talking about it, you can actually go from 1200 grit diamond and get a mirror polish. All you have to do is get to 1200 grit diamond. And if you're good at holding your angle, or if you're using a fixed angled system and you have a good angle, then you could strop 3 1/4 micron and you'll have a polish. It probably would be better if you have a 6 3 1/4 micron, meaning 6 micron gunny juice on a leather strop, 3 micron, you know, all the way to 1/4 micron. But you could just go to 1 micron gunny juice and still have a mirror polish. And it works really good. It comes out really good. You try not to overstrop. You know, you don't want to take too many strokes on each. That sounded kind of messed up. You don't want to take too many passes on each side. You definitely don't want to overstrop, but it's still very possible without overstropping. I've been doing it lately, and it works really good. Yes, thank you, Samurai. Definitely hit that like button. It does help me out in the algorithm. What's up, Logical? Does anybody in the chat know of any good places to get 2 Suns besides White Mountain Knives that doesn't take a month to get? Thank you. Talk to OCD for EDC. I think he's actually a 2 Sun dealer now. He actually sells for them in the USA. You can talk to him. At the very least, he can tell you when his next shipment's coming in. I'm not sure if he's still doing that, but that is one way. The next way is if you're on eBay, you can look for a USA dealer that has them. A lot of times they'll they'll get them, and they'll have a few models, and it'll only take you like 4 days to get. I get them like that sometimes, but in many cases, man, if you want them for the good price and all that good stuff, that's the deal, right? That's the deal. You know, you go on eBay, you win it, and you know, you buy them on Amazon, just pay outright for it, so you don't have to worry about the bidding. But then you're gonna wait a month. You're gonna wait 3 to 4 weeks on average. Love Them Knives has a bunch of the new 2 Suns M390 button lock knives he is selling. There you go. There's the button lock ones. That's his design. We are new to knives in your channel. Could really use all that stuff. Awesome, Deborah. Well, shout out to Deborah for being new to knives and the channel. If you stick around, definitely learn a lot of stuff and possibly get some stuff too. We are doing a huge giveaway here soon. We're always giving away stuff on Patreon, and we're soon going to be doing our first giveaway to the Bang Gang squad, and we give stuff away live too. You never know when we do, though. You know, sometimes I just don't say anything, and then at the end we just wind up giving something away. He has a bunch of 2 Suns. Who LTK does he? I just bought another TS229. Nice. Hell yeah. So I already talked about the Patreon giveaway. I know there's a lot of people in here now, so I will be posting that on Tuesday for patron members that are in here. The patron giveaway will be, or the entry will be on Tuesday. I decided to kind of tone, because my whole plan was to let first place. There's always, it was always supposed to be only one place, but like the past few months, we've done 3 places. So it's kind of a tradition now where we do 3 giveaways now a month. I don't know how we ever got there, but that's what winds up happening. But my plan this month was to do whatever you guys wanted from Mojave Outdoors. Problem is fucking like everything great. Not saying they don't have good stuff on there, but the really expensive stuff is sold out. So I kind of feel bad. So I'm probably going to do multiple gifts. Just let multiple people buy whatever they want from Mojave Outdoors. So that'll be the giveaway this month for patrons. Just so you guys know, you guys can pick whatever you guys want. $8.30. Who's still by? Oh, I don't know if you guys seen Mike Gemler. Shout out to Mike Gemler, Crazy Sharp. He posted a video on buying some of those cheap gas station knives. He bought like a mystery box or something. And I was going to make a joke like of who still buys those knives? Who still buys those cheap gas station knives? Like, with all the amazing knives out here we can get, right, that are good quality, that tell you the steel, that have good heat treats, good lockups, good fit and finish, all the good stuff. Who still buys? I think he paid $90 for a box and got like 3 or 4 knives that aren't worth $1 to me. Literally not $1. I wouldn't pay a quarter for them. I wouldn't pay 25 cents for those knives. That's how shitty they are. Who the hell still buys those crappy gas station mall ninja knives? Besides Mike Emler, though. You know, besides Mike. Oh, that's hilarious. So I guess me, because I wound up buying one myself recently. I guess that'll have to wait for a video. I am going to do a quick unboxing with you guys. This isn't that knife, but got a couple new Kaisers in. A couple new Kaisers. Well, they're new versions of this one. This one actually came with not just hardware, but it came with 2 bits, which is kind of interesting because it's like, how do you know I have a driver that this will fit? I don't even know. I have to figure out what kind of driver that fits. Anyways, it also came with extra scales. Interesting, right? But this is the new Stormtrooper Feist in 3V. Stormtrooper Feist in 3V. So if you guys like the Stormtrooper stuff with the white and black, 3V steel, man. Pretty awesome. You can find these on Mojave Outdoors and use my 10% discount code Neevesknives. Awesome. Now we have one more over here. Now this one is a little different. Shout out to Mojave Outdoors. 10% off. Neevesknives. This one's a burlap one. This one doesn't come with any scales or bits or anything. It does come with a couple little extra hardware though. But this one's a burlap one. I'll be honest, man. I'm not a huge fan of burlap, guys. So I'm not going to probably say anything great about this one aside from the fact that it has 3V steel. Ooh. Ooh, this one feels smooth. Yeah. These are great little front flippers, though. Super easy to front flip. A little small for me to do the reach around right here. Well, not the reach around. What would this be called? The knuckle? A little small, but I can do it. The reach around's really easy on these. But 3V steel again. Burlap micarta. Especially if you like burlap micarta. I'm just, it's okay. It's not that I dislike it. It feels good in the hand. I'll give it that. It feels really good in the hand. But I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe this to me isn't the USA stuff. So I know Kaiser does use the USA made micarta, but this is not US. At least it doesn't look like it to me. I'm not a big fan of this micarta at all. What do you think of the SOG knives? I think SOG stepped it up. I did not used to like them. I used to think they were crap. And the reason why was because they were going downhill fast. They recently sold their company to another company, and now they do have good quality knives. So they basically revamped their shop, redid all their QC and all that stuff. And now they're doing amazing shit. They're doing great work now. I'll give them credit. They're doing great work now. Hey, Steve, with the 20 bones. Does anyone know of a good katana looking blade flipper out here? Yes, I actually do. I'll actually show you one. So I'll show you one that you're not going to be able to find, and I'll show you one you can get right now. So there's actually and the one you can get, man, actually both of them. There's multiple different versions. Let me just set this over here. I'll clean this up when we're done. Let me grab it. Did I just see Mike? No. So there's this, which you're not going to be able to find probably, but maybe if you look on Knife Joker, they sometimes have them. You can also maybe find them on Arizona Customs sometimes. This is the Riat K2. They're not cheap though. Riat knives are not cheap. But this definitely looks like a katana, right? Now, I'm going to show you another one. Now, this one you can get right now. You can get this. Lots of different versions of this one. So there's even a version, I think, with a traditional Tanto blade, but this one had, or sorry, yeah, the traditional Tanto. Yeah, this one's the regular, or sorry, the regular Japanese Tanto one, and then there's this one, which is like a regular Tanto that's similar to the Japanese Tanto, but this one has the Damascus inlay in it. But there's different versions. You don't have to get the Damascus inlay. They have a carbon fiber version. They have a liner lock version. They have a bunch of different versions of this. And this is a flipper. Very smooth. The seat's really tight inside the handle. This is a really nice knife. But that is what I would recommend for somebody looking for a katana-looking folder. Is 3V the newest metal? No. The newest would be MagnaCut. Would be the newest. 3V's been around for a long time. 3V is usually used in fixed blades. It's a really hard use steel, so it's an extremely tough, strong steel, but it does hold a good edge. Now the thing is that with fixed blades, they usually heat treat it softer, and the reason why is because they want to bring the highest level of toughness out of the steel. The higher they raise the HRC, the longer the edge is going to last in the steel, but the lower the toughness will go. So if you want the toughness to be at its most extreme, then you're going to want to lower the HRC of the steel. So with folders like this, it's to their best interest to raise the HRC to give you the best edge retention while still being tough. For fixed blades, it's in their best interest to not have the highest HRC if it's a hard use fixed blade. If it's not a hard use fixed blade, then yeah, it'd be at their best. To me personally, I'd rather have the high HRC personally, but I guess it depends on what you're wanting your knife for. What's your least favorite blade? You mean blade shape? My least favorite blade would be a Persian, or also known as a trailing point. Now, I think there's versions that I like, depending on how the handle goes with the blade shape. But for the most part, I'm not a big fan of Persians, especially if their tip goes up really high. Like this. This is a Persian blade shape like this, where it goes up. Now, there's like depending on how the handle is, though. And this is a fixed blade, so I'm not too mad at it with a fixed blade because a fixed blade has different purposes than a folder. But when it goes really high, I don't really like those. I'm not a big fan. If it's subtle, if the blade goes down first and then back up, then it's okay. But I'm just not a big fan. For me, for hunting and skinning, then it's great. That Riette is a good one. I only got to handle one, never had a chance to buy it though. Yeah, I love it, man. I love the Riette K2. I am very lucky to have one because they are hard to get now. Surprised they don't come out with another run. Hey, Bees Blades is in the house. Shout out to Bees Blades' wife. First of all, shout out to her because she was watching the channel when she decided to get Bees a present. So shout out to her for watching Neevesknives. She sounds like a good woman. She picked a good knife too. She picked a good knife. Liner lock on the new Kaiser Sheepdog won't engage. Any suggestions how to fix that? Yes. Liner lock on the new Kaiser Sheepdog won't engage. So when you open it up, the lock won't go under the blade, right? That's what you're saying. So in that case, it's a very easy fix. And I don't want to tell you how to do it and then have you mess up your knife, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you mess up your knife, it's not on me, but it's super easy. You just take it apart. And you take the liner because the liner is getting stuck, right? It's not being able to get underneath. So you just file it down, or not sand it down, and it won't take much. It'll be super easy. You just sand it down, sand on the top, nice and flat. Don't round it or anything like that. Nice and flat. Sand it down until it engages. Just do a little bit, put it back together, see if it engages. If not, take it back apart a little bit more. A little goes a long way. And you can kind of look at it and see like how much do I need to remove, but a little goes a long way. You know, you want it to go like this under the tang of the blade. You don't want it all the way over here. You want it nice and early. And since you'll be sanding it down, it should have a nice strong lockup after, as long as you remove the exact amount, which it's not hard. I've done it 100 times. It's super easy to do. Well, hello to her. No, tell her I said thank you. Hey, Jared, any chance you can help me find a Malibu blue titanium? I don't know anybody offhand that has one. And blue titanium? No, aluminum. They have the aluminum ones. I've never seen the titanium ones. Or maybe I have seen the titanium ones, but I've never had the titanium ones. I've seen them, but I haven't seen one like in person or anything. But check blade forums. Look around on Instagram. There's lots of knife sales all the time. I don't know anybody who has one for sale at the moment, and that's specific. So that would be tough. If it was just like just a Malibu, it'd be a lot easier to find. Kevin, thank you for the 5 bones, Kevin. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for the donations. It definitely helps the channel, and it always goes back into the channel. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kevin, that happened to my sheepdog. I just helped the sandpaper on the edge of the table so the lock bar didn't curve over. Yeah, right. Yeah, just make sure it's nice and flat. Like he said, he just put it on the table and went like that on it. Laid the sandpaper on the table, put the lock bar on the sandpaper, sand it down. It is an easy fix. There's a lot of little things with knives that are a super easy fix. The problem when you get those really cheap junk knives is a lot of things. One, they're not easy to fix because one, they're red Loctited shut. So you're going to strip the hardware just trying to open it. Good quality knives are easy to take apart. They're easy to maintain. They're easy to fix. Junk knives, like really cheap junk knives, man, they're impossible to take apart. The parts never go back together. They're so hard to get back together. When is the knife sale video going up, Jared? I noticed tomorrow. All right, so you must have just came in. Tomorrow, I have the 12 o'clock Bang Gang live right after that. So like 1:30. I didn't post it Friday or yesterday because it's long. It's long, and I'm gonna have to pay attention to my email right after I post it. But make sure you watch the directions because there are rules in the beginning. Make sure you pay attention to the rules. I'm not using my regular email. I'm using a new email for just specifically for this knife sale. But yes, tomorrow it's going up, and it's some good shit. Let me tell you. Where do you buy these knives? Which knives? I always put links in my video. So if you look, let's say when you're watching my video, if you look down on the right-hand side of the screen, there's a little arrow. If you hit that arrow, the description pops down. And there, I usually try to link whatever I have in the video. Now, there's things I can't always link, but I link some knife dealers. So you'll see White Mountain Knives. I have a 10% discount code with White Mountain Knives. White Mountain Knives is a knife dealer. Blade HQ is a knife dealer. GP Knives is a knife dealer. Who else? Knife Center. All these places sell these knives. But White Mountain Knives, you can save 10% off using my discount code. I don't get nothing from it, but they offered it to me for you guys. So, I have to work tomorrow. I won't be able to see it until after 5. Yeah, that sucks. Well, that sucks because there's going to be some good ones in there. There'll probably be some left still because, I mean, I can't guarantee that, but there's a lot. So, but I don't know, man, because Apostle Peas, man, his sells fast, like super fast. And these are all like pristine knives, like never cut nothing knives, never even cut paper. What's up, Mark? Oh, nice. The Kaiser Tauser. Great knife. Great knife. That thing, be careful when you unlock it. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful. That thing is a guillotine. That thing will cut your finger off. It is like 100% false shot. Like, you think other knives are false shot action? You ain't felt false shot action till you felt that knife. And the blade is heavy. So I'm just saying, be careful when you unlock it because it's coming down. I'm taking my hat off of the ring for this knife sale because only 250 Winter Blade Co. factors will be available in May. Okay. Hey, not a problem, bud. Not a problem. What are you puffing? Nicotine. Are you going to the show? Yes, I am. The knives like LTK does. I'm going to the show in Atlanta. Yes, I am. I will be just walking around. I'm going to film one day, and the rest of the days I'm going to hang out and check out knives, buy knives, and hang out with you guys. Hey, are those triangle knives from Civil War illegal, or is that a myth? Are those triangle knives? The triangle knives. I'm not sure what the triangle knives are. Do you mean spear points? I'm not sure if you're talking about spear points. A double-edged knife in many cases is illegal to carry. You can own them depending on what country you live in. If you live in America, then you can own them, but you can't carry them in many cases. But it depends on where you live. You got to look at your knife restriction depending on what county and state you're in because it always changes. Like one state to another is completely different. But double-edged is restricted in a lot of areas to carry, which makes no fucking sense. But no sense at all. As if it was single-edged, like poking wouldn't be just the same. Because you can have a double-edged that has the exact same shape. The other side's just not sharpened. It doesn't make sense. Bayonets. I mean, I'm not sure. Hell is it? Oh. Do you mean like this type of bayonet? Like this is I guess it's double-edged, but it's just too dull to be double-edged. But this part would be sharp, but only from here to here, and then this is sharp. That's a bayonet. and a knife. But it's hard to say, man. I don't know. You have to check your restrictions and everything in your area because everywhere is different. Everywhere's so different. Sativian 111, best $28 I ever spent. Dead nuts centered, false shot action, no play. Was very surprised and bought it for work, so I'm pleased. Nice. Yeah, no, I've shown a few Sativians. Most I was very impressed with. There's been one or two that I wasn't the most impressed with, but all the rest I have been. The ST103, the ST102. Those are my favorites so far. I do have another one right here. This one's really good too. This one is the 119, the 119. This one's really good. Fall drop shot action, reverse flicking, really good. The one little issue, tiny issue, because this thing has such a solid detent, and it's a small issue, guys. The corners could be chamfered, but you know how easy of a fix that is? That is literally just me rubbing some sandpaper on it. So other than that, man, this thing is badass. The detent is so good, man. They get the detent so solid. Detents like this kind of piss you off at more expensive knives because it's so perfect. Like, watch me break this detent. Let's see if I can fail it. I can't fail it because it's such a clicky detent. And the reverse flick is easy peasy. But I could thumb it too. Yep. Awesome knife. And yeah, like $25, $28. The bayonets they used in the Civil War were triangular shaped to make the wounds harder to close and be more deadly. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, well, everything in war is made to kill, so. Yeah, I think he's talking about the knife with the 3 edges. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, with the 3 edges. I don't know. I used to have one of those for SKS or something. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea if those are legal or not because that would be separate from a knife. I don't know. What's up, deployment holes? What's up, Blaze? Playing with it under the cover. Whatever you got to do, man. World War I triangular blade with spiked handguard. Persecutor to the dagger with brass knuckles. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Have one sitting in my safe with a Pennsylvania rifle to match. That's what's up. Hell yeah. You guys got some of them gems. The Microtech, oh yeah. The Microtech Commando is the original 3-edge knife. Yeah, that's illegal in a lot of places, I'm sure, because that's spiraled. So it's got like 3 edges and it's spirals. You know, I'll see if I can pop it up for you guys if you guys want to check it out really quick. Come on, my mouse is fucked up. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I'll show you guys this really quick. Yeah, this thing's nasty. I actually showed this in a video I did a long time ago. I actually know someone who has one. I should ask him to borrow it. But you can see right, it is nasty. So it has 3 edges that go around in a spiral. And by the way, guys, if you guys are if the quality isn't that good and you're watching on a phone or whatever device, if you look up at the top right corner, you should be able to tap the screen and there's a little thing up in the corner. You can tap it and you can turn up the quality on your phone, just so you guys know. But yeah, you can see the 3 edges, how they spiral around, and then it's got the blood holes inside of it so that, as the saying goes, so the blood doesn't get to your hand while it's dripping down your blade or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe so it doesn't create suction when you're pulling it out. I don't know, to be honest, but it looks like it'd be nasty to get stabbed with something like this. This is creating a wound that is not fixable. That's the point. The point of it is to create a wound channel that cannot be fixed, because like an in and out stab, right? It's you could stitch it. This is going to give you a triangular stab, and it's going to cut a groove as it goes through you. That is not something that you can heal quickly or easily. This is made to kill for sure. And you can see how these here's you guys. I wish I could blow this up a little bit bigger for you, but yeah, pretty crazy though. You can see those holes, how they go up halfway up the blade. And those are sharpened too. This edge, it's sharpened around. I would hate to get one of these in for sharpening. Now somebody's going to be sending me one of these to sharpen. Oh man, that'd be tough. That'd be a tough sharpening. Reason why they are illegal is because when you try to, right, yeah, when you try to sew the wound up, it doesn't let you. Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Just realized I have been 30 minutes behind on this. No wonder chat was not matching with what you're saying. It's happened to me before. I've done that too. Definitely not a letter opener. I have two. I dropped in the river fishing. Damn. Show up at the hospital after the encounter and you're getting noped by your doctor. Yes, I'm sorry but to tell you, but there's nothing I can do here, guy. Nothing I can do here. We're going to try to pack it, stuff it, kind of sew it, and best of luck. The holes allow the blood to flow while the blade is still in something. Gotcha. Doesn't plug it. Right. Doesn't plug it. Old wives' tale about them being impossible to heal from. Been debunked by many doctors. Hey? I don't like, I always think of that too. Like, doctors heal so many things, man. I've seen doctors do amazing things, like even the things they did with my dad and shit like that. Of course, doctors probably have a good chance if they catch you early enough, but the point is you probably won't make it. You're probably not going to make it. By the time you get it, they're not going to be able to heal it fast enough before you die. Right? That's kind of the point. And then if they do, like, it's going to be a frustrating process, but that shot is, if you can plug that hole and get yourself there without bleeding internally too much, and good luck. But yeah, I have no doubt that, with enough work and enough help, and if you're in a good conditions, they could probably get you. But in many cases, especially depending on where you're at, man, you're probably not like in a quick walk to the hospital. Definitely made with a specific purpose in mind. Crazy what people can make when they put their minds to it. Yeah, especially when they're war-minded, right? That's when those things really come out. When you're battle-minded, yeah. Oh. I got back to the combo about possibly not making it. Yeah, we were talking about that knife. If you rewind, you will see the blade I just showed. It's pretty crazy. Getting stabbed or sliced sucks. Count your blessings. Yes. Especially if you're getting slashed with a knife that actually has an edge on it, like we were talking about earlier, right? Getting some of them gas station knives that have never been sharpened and still have the factory edge that you've used a dozen times probably isn't your best bet. Just saying. I don't even think I'd be scared of it, to be honest. Right. When you're out in the field, right, exactly. And field doctors, I think, is another thing, right? Like if we're talking about battlefields and shit, if we're talking about that, they have the medic out there. I think they would have a tough time with it, but I'm not a doctor. I've done a lot of doctor work though. I've definitely done a lot of surgeries in my day. What else did I have? Oh, the Crewwear PM2 is back out. Not sure if they're still around. I think it was GP Knives. Has them if you guys are interested in getting a Crewwear PM2. I know I want one. I'm a little tapped right now. I got money in all kinds of places. So, and I try to keep a little cash funds to donate to other channels and everything during the week. Story time reminder. Oh, yeah. Story time reminder. Yeah. Getting shot in the eye. That's what we're going to do. Getting shot in the eye. Let's do it. I'm going to take a couple hits, take a little sip of my coffee, answer a couple last questions, and then we'll get to story time. I can't type for shit tonight. I can't never type for shit. Can you tune a hot dog into a knight? I don't know. Dude, the knives you guys show on here are sick. Well, thank you, Blades. Thank you. We try for sure. But we hit all categories on Neevesknives. We hit everything from the budget of the budget, not gas station knives. We do tend to have those, but we usually drag them, talk a lot of shit about them. But we show you where you can spend your money better. The budget knives all the way up to the top dollar premium quality knives. So we try to cross all budgets in between because I like everybody to carry a knife. That is a good question, Breeze. What is up with the like button? Have you guys hit the like button? Let's get into this story time, but first, let's hit the like button. Oh, shit. 134 people, 134 likes. Not too bad. It's pretty good. I'll take it. All right, first time here. Oh, man. Weld Monster. Weld Monster. That's awesome. Well, welcome. We're about to go into story time. We spend the first hour and a half talking knives, knife-related sharpening, knife topics. And then at 9 o'clock, we go into story time. I tell a story from my past of some sort. And that's what we're getting into right now. So if you want to get into the knife stuff, you can always go back to the beginning, unless if you've been here this whole time. I do lots of different knife topics, but today is kind of, casual. Tomorrow we do have the Bang Gang live. I think I'll leave it open for people to watch, but only the Bang Gang members will be able to comment. Shout out to the Bang Gang squad. It is the join membership. If anybody wants to join, I teach sharpening twice a month, and there's different tiers. You'll see it next to the subscription button. There's 3 different tiers, and then there's also Patreon where we do giveaways once a month. We got a giveaway going on Tuesday. 3 giveaways, by the way. And we hit 100,000, so we're going to make sure it's a nice giveaway for all 3 members. Now, let's get into this. So story time. So this is a story about me getting shot in the eye. Not with a bullet, but we'll get into it. So let me just take a hit. So you guys have heard of potato cannons, I'm sure, right? Maybe we should watch a video on one really quick. So this was years ago. I was at the time it was my dad's property, and we were on the property, and we had a potato cannon. And those of you who have never seen a potato cannon is very powerful. It is a cannon. It's a cannon that shoots potatoes instead of cannonballs, right? There's different versions of it, different sizes. You can see videos online about them. Just look up potato cannon or potato gun, right? This was a big one. It wasn't a little small one. Like I said, there's different sizes. This one was a full size one. It was probably 6 foot tall, 6 foot long. It's got a big container in the back. Screw off the back. You put some type of accelerant in the back, and then it has like a sparker as an igniter. Spark it, boom, shoots out the potato. They shoot very far. It's a cannon. It's a gun, right? So we had one and we were trying to fire it off for like 2 hours and it was not going off. And this one was kind of rigged up, but still really good. Made it all out of thick PVC. And trying to go off, would not go off. We kept, undoing the bag, putting more accelerant in there, trying to spark it, would not go off. Well, we let it sit for a little bit. And then I was like, man, I should check the igniter because the igniter, maybe it's broke. Maybe the igniter isn't working. Well, the only way to see the igniter on this one was to look down the barrel. And this was a horrible part of my life after this. But so I looked down the barrel, and in order to see the spark, you got to click the igniter. Remember, it hasn't went off. We've been trying to spark it for 2 hours, trying to get it to go off. Click, 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 click. Won't go off. The second I look down the barrel, spark, boom, goes off right into my fucking eye. Point blank. And I didn't pull the trigger. My friend did. And went off right in my eye. And I did damn near a backflip. I thought I died. Didn't knock me out though. It did knock me back. I landed on the ground. I thought I died, but a lot of people talk about their life flashing before their eyes. My future flashed before my eyes. So instead of my life, because I realized at first I thought I was dead, but then once I realized I was alive, my future of being mutated flashed before my eyes. No eye, no side of my face. My face is gone. That's what flashed before my eyes. And I instantly, my dad was a paraplegic at the time. So he was hit by a backhoe. He's laying in his bed. And before I can even get in there, like to say I need an ambulance, blood's coming out of my nose, my mouth, my eyes. I crushed all these bones in my face. They were all shattered, ruptured my eyeball. Got rushed to the emergency room. Was in the emergency room for a little while, and they were pulling shit out of my eye, potato and all that stuff out of my eye, and giving me I don't know what it's called, but some sort of painkiller in the eye, and I forget how long I was in there, but it's the shittiest hospital ever. I hate this hospital. I have friends that died in there that weren't in there from anything life-threatening. That's how bad this hospital is. It's very bad. It's such a bad hospital. I hate going to this hospital, and it seems like every time I have to go to the hospital, it's always that one because it's always the closest one, because every time I go to the hospital, it's like life-threatening, right? Just the way it goes. But anyway, so I go to this fucking hospital again, and when I first go in there, before I actually get admitted, when I first go in there, I'm blind. Remember, I'm blind. I can't see nothing. And they try to hand me paperwork to fill out. And I spit blood all over the place. Not like on purpose, but like I'm fucked up. And it's like, bitch, I can't fill out paperwork. Get me back there, right? And I hear my sister. Luckily, family called other family, and my sister wasn't far away, so she wound up meeting me there. I got driven there, right? But anyways, so they got me in the back room, whatever. By the time when I left and I went home, my eyeballs ruptured. Like I said, all my bones in my face were crushed, and the pain from having a ruptured eyeball and it being blind at the same time was so bad that I had a lot of anger because I couldn't see. I'm blind and I'm in so much pain, and I can't sleep. Even though I can't see, I can't sleep, and I can't find nothing. My equilibrium's off, and the pain is so frustrating. Like the worst migraines ever. Like, I don't even want to say the words because YouTube doesn't like it, but wanting to take yourself out type of pain. It was that type of pain. And I got hooked up, from hookups with all kinds of painkillers and shit like that. Not necessarily from the hospital, and nothing was working. And I was taking doses that would have killed me otherwise. Like, that's how painful it was. Like, I was taking things that would make me overdose any other time, and it wasn't doing anything. So, and I'm talking about like heavy shit. But nothing was working, and it took about, I was blind, 100% blind for about 2 full weeks, between 2 weeks and a month. And then when I first started getting my vision back, because what happens is, even though one eyeball was ruptured, your eye sympathizes for the other one. So it made both eyes blind for 2 weeks. Then I could start seeing out of the one after about 2 weeks. And also just seeing, like, if I tried to look out of that eye, it was so painful, like you didn't even want to. But then when I could start seeing again, everything was shapes, everything was circles. Everything was circles and blue. So when I first got my vision back, everything's blue, literally blue. Like, I couldn't see in color. I could only see in blue and shapes. It was so weird. Even now, when I look up at the sky, sometimes I still see little circles, like, especially if I look at one plain color. But I don't know if it's from that or not, but seems like it. But yeah, it did take me a while to recover. I wound up having to go back to the eye doctor a whole bunch of times, and keep getting my eyeball checked. My eyeball did recover though. I don't know, about 100%. I do need glasses pretty bad. You guys see me sometimes throw glasses on, but I do need to go get my own prescription. But no, it sucked, man. A lot of pain. Like, that was some serious pain. And I've been through a lot of different situations with serious pain. That one was pretty bad. I've told you guys a couple stories. If I know there's a lot of people in here, so some of you guys have heard some of the stories I've told about being in pain. That one was pretty bad. Victory in my eye, and I can't see y'all motherfuckers want to fuck with me. Yeah, it was definitely a close one. Definitely a close one. I thought I died at first, like I said, but right away I instantly started having, like, my future flash before my eyes. I guess, I don't know if it was lucky I didn't get knocked out or not, but it should have knocked me out, you'd think. All because some grocery bagger punched you. That's what I said. What? You must be talking about something else. What's the score and how much time left? We have about 20 minutes left. If you're talking to me. I thought the same when I seen your comment. What are you guys talking about? All right. You guys are going to have to fill me in. Otherwise, I'll be reading comments forever. That potato maybe had some slow release shrooms on it too. Tripping blue. They say when you rupture your eye, maybe in the place I ruptured it, they say when it starts healing, that's a common thing. They said it was normal. So when that happened, like, that was a good sign that I was healing. Same thing with the shapes. I'm not an eye doctor, but that's what they said. And that's what happened. Do you look at mashed potatoes now and think, look at you now, fuckers? I do that with whole potatoes. I just throw them on the ground and I stomp on them every time I see them. Did you ever reunite with the potato cannon? Yes, I did. That's a good question too. Yes, I did. And thing was after that, because it was weeks until I seen it again, because I couldn't do anything. I was bedridden. Couldn't see. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't see. But finally, when I went back out, to the location, I seen it right there in the corner, right? And I didn't say nothing. I just let it go. But I seen it a few times, just a bunch of times after that. But yeah, it always does dwindle in the back of your head, because the sound, the smell, the everything, even right now, like, I can still feel it. They were pulling potato out of my eye for like a week. Like, the hospital should have got it out, but like I said, the hospital was really shitty. They didn't get it all out, and which is messed up, because the hours and hours I was in there, they were doing that stuff, and you'd think they would have got it out, but no, they didn't. Had a major injury to my eye in a car wreck, so I feel your pain, bro. That sucks too. That sucks. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have my eye. So because I should have been blind. Like the doctors, everybody said like that I was so lucky because that should have crushed my eyeball like to just splat, but it didn't, which is crazy. Like it hit me dead smack too. My eyeball, my bones must have stopped it a little bit. Like it must have been just big enough that it stopped because it crushed all these bones too. So, but that's not what the scars from. The scars from a beer bottle to the eye. But it was weird because was it that one or was it the other one? I think it was after that. Was it that one? I think it was after that because I still had a patch on my eye. And my ex-girlfriend that I was with, that we got into a heated argument. I've told this story before. I'm not going to go into it because it's a long story, but it's actually kind of funny. It's actually hilarious. But she tried to take a swing at me, and she actually hit me once. But the second time when she went to swing at me, because she hit me in that eye, and it was only like a month or so later, so I'm still fucked up, and it's like my eye's still fucked up. And right when she hit me, I was like, "Damn it, that's my," or I said, "Damn it, that's my bad eye." Or something like that. When she went to take the next swing, I caught that hand real quick. Honestly, what the human body can recover from is truly amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, my dad, he was hit by a backhoe, had his spine crushed in 21 places, and he survived. And he was paralyzed from the nipples down, but he lived 13 years after that. So yeah, it's amazing what the human body can do. Yeah, we don't talk about exes. Yeah. Little bit of PTSD from potatoes. Just a little bit. Oh man. Who hit you with the beer bottle? That was at a party. I was at a party, and I was at a friend's house. We were at a party. I had some friends with me, and I was all fucked up. And some gangbangers came in, and they were like hanging out at the party or whatever. And one of them like tried to shake up with me or something. And I told him, that I wasn't about that life or whatever. And his buddy came or no. He went to smack me. And when he went to smack me, I think he did smack me because I was all fucked up. And I smacked him back or I punched him, like one of the two. And then his buddy came across the backside and cracked me with a bottle right in the eye. And then it just turned into a huge fight. I was fighting him and one other dude. And then my buddies were fighting a couple dudes in the corner. And it just wound up being like a big brawl. Quick version of the story. My buddy shot his sister with a BB rifle. It was a pump action that he did way too much. It missed her lung by a few millimeters. Then, like 15 years later, ran into her and got a BJ. I'd say they were forgiven. I shot my brother in the stomach. They wound up doing surgery and pulling it out of it ricocheted off his organs and wound up going up into his chest. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. We were hunting earlier the day, or we were hunting when it happened, and we came in the house, and the gun went off. He was in front of me, and it went off, and he was like standing right there in front of me. The safety wasn't on. We were kids. It was stupid. And the thing is I grew up with firearms. I grew up with all the firearm rules and everything, knowing them 100%, but everybody gets shot with an unloaded gun. And I accidentally shot him in the stomach, and like I said, it fucked him up pretty bad. He had to get surgery, get his appendix removed and shit. It was. Oh man. But yeah, it was fucked up though. We tried to lie about it as we were young and stupid. But I also one time I fucking grabbed a 380 and it's messed up. And this is actually like a warning to everybody because, you know, like I said, I was raised, you know, knowing all the rules and everything about firearms. You know, since I was a kid, my dad put me with, you know, firearms around me my whole life and always made me do all the safety rules, like made me do everything like since a very early age. And you know, he was always packing, you know, he always had a gun on him. And so like at an early age, you know, like he taught me to be around him and everything. And I was real young. And I had a 380 and I was with my friend who wasn't like trained with guns or anything. Completely on me. This is my fault. But I took the gun and I took the magazine out and I set it down. And you know, I checked it and everything and I set it down for a split second. Like it's just a split second, set it down. In that time, he put the magazine in that time. Like it was so fast. Like I literally was like right here, set it down. Then I put my hand back down and grabbed it and I racked it and I went bow right next to his head. I'm a kid. Remember, I'm a kid. And it was like just right next to his head, just bow. And wound up blowing his eardrum out and shooting the backboard of the bed and going through the wall, not all the way through the wall, went halfway through the wall. And but it goes to show every gun's loaded, you know, unless if it's in your hand still, right? You're taught that the gun is loaded unless if you unload it and you check it. It's loaded again if you put it back down. Even if you know it's unloaded, it's loaded. That's how you're supposed to treat it. And I learned in that moment why that is such a vital thing. It's such a vital thing that when you put a firearm down, it is loaded. And I got lucky though. I didn't kill my friend. But I did wind up having to bust my ass to fix a bed and all kinds of shit before parents got home and trying to patch walls and fix it because it blew out a glass thing that was in the bed. The bed had a mirror in it and had to go down to the hardware store and convinced a hardware guy to, well, no, I went to one place and bought a mirror, went to a glass cutting place, and I'm doing all this as a kid, man. Having my buddy next door drive me around because all my friends were way older than me, driving me around trying to find the places to do all this. And the guy tried to tell me like a week and I started freaking out. I actually walked into the back while the front guy was telling me that he's not, you know, we can't do anything for a week. I walked to the back and I told the guy, like, I looked at him like with the fear of God in my face, like, I need this in an hour. Please help me. And he was like, all right, I'll get it for you. And he couldn't, like 2 minutes, just bam, bam. You know, and I know how easy it is to cut glass now because I've cut a lot of glass, but back then I didn't know. You know, it takes a week to cut glass. Like that's what I was thinking, but it only takes a second. So he had to cut for me. I paid, got it home, got it in there, and then it did not fit. It was like 2 inches off from top to bottom. And you know, when you're a kid, you're like, I'm gonna get caught, I'm gonna get caught. But I was lucky enough to like not to get by that night until the next day. Then the next day I got a new piece and we got it cut again and went through the whole operation again, patched the wall, did all the bullshit. An armed society is a polite society, 100%. Todd, poor Rocco didn't give a fuck, did he? Fuck cat. Don't know what that means, but I do agree with an armed society is a polite one. Let's talk about why you were on the bed with your your kids. You're sitting next. We were sitting. But yeah. We weren't in bed. You fuck. It's a good one though. Oh man. Why does the mirror in the child's bed frame sound more sketchy than the firearm? You broke the mirror above your parents' bed. That is a pickle. Yes, that's what happened. Now that's some dedication to not getting caught. Props, my guy. Thank you. And Boondock Saints was such a good damn movie. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I didn't like the second one as much as the first one, but they were both good. I liked them both. Kids playing Monster Rain. Yeah. Ever checked out a ZT-0393? Pretty awesome. Yes. I like most of the ZTs. I'm just not a fan of the stuff they dropped like this year. But all their other stuff I like. I just don't like the stuff this year. Oh yeah, I already said that one. I don't know about that. Be More is pretty well armed and ignorant as hell. Baltimore? Well, I think you got to look at it whether or not they're legally allowed to be armed. So, in most cases, right, there's always going to be the outliers, but in most cases, when you disarm the law abiding, like I've been a criminal, right? I know how it works. If you don't give a shit about the laws already, so like me as a criminal, I'm already gonna do whatever I want as a criminal. Doesn't matter what the law says. It can be illegal for me to carry whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter. I'm going to carry it anyways because I'm a criminal. I'm already coming to rob you. I'm already coming to kill you or whatever. Why do I care about whether or not I'm allowed to carry the weapon or thing? But if you are allowed to, and I know that, that is a great defense for me coming and fucking with you because I know that you are allowed to and you probably are armed. But if I know you're a law-abiding citizen, there's no question in my mind of whether or not you're carrying a firearm. I know you're not. You're a law-abiding citizen, and I know it, and I know I'm not. So I can catch you off guard. I can get you with your pants. You know what I mean. I can catch it really easily. So that's basically what it boils down to. But when everybody's armed, you got a lot better chance that the crime is going to, and it usually does, go down because people they're not, they're not running around disarmed. They're prepared and ready and they can fight back and the people know that. So, but, no law ever stops the criminal or the crime. That's not how that ever works. People have got that so confused. I think it's mind-blowing to me how people think that by putting a restriction or a law in place that stops crime or lowers crime. No, it doesn't. It never, not when we're talking about in those senses. Like you have to put things in place to stop things, but it's never restrictions. It's never laws. It's never things like that. That always just provokes it to be worse because, I know you're a law abiding citizen and I'm not. So you're fucked. But it sucks though, because a lot of people they don't understand that part because a lot of people give people the benefit of the doubt, and that's not good. You shouldn't do that. You should never give people the benefit of the doubt. So thinking that people aren't going to do something because they're not allowed to, it's not a good way to think of it. What you want to do, the best way to think about it is where can I have the best freedoms to have the best ability to protect myself to the best of my ability. That's more likely going to be a better case scenario anywhere you go, Where can I get the most freedoms to protect myself or defend myself or what have you? Because crime happens everywhere, but it's usually like, put it this way. Where do you think that there's going to be more break-ins? A place where they're not allowed to have guns, or a place that everybody has a gun, right? Probably where they're not allowed to have guns. And then where do you think there's going to be armed robberies more at, or purse snatches and things like that? Not where they're allowed, not where Granny's packing heat. Definitely not there. Granny will shoot your ass. Or the guy down the street will see it and do it. Or the neighbor or whatever. You know, somebody in this vicinity is going to be packing. So I'm less likely to do it. Now, go to places, which I've been to lots of them, where like they're not allowed to be armed legally, and it's crime ridden all over because the criminals all have fucking guns. They don't give a shit. Of course they have guns. They're already criminals. Of course they have guns. So they just run around doing whatever they want. And sometimes, you know, looking at like statistics, sometimes I think it's by design. I really do sometimes. I know in Chicago, they wound up taking back, as for a while there, they did disarm the community from pistols, and they told people they could have shotguns, which was dumb. But they wound up giving it back after a while, and where you can get a carrying permit and everything else. But still, though, you know, like there's just going to be some areas that are just such high crime areas that they're just so corrupt, and there's so much in an area that it's, you know, going to be just crazy bad. And a lot of it does have to do with the politicians and everything else. You know, you guys know all this. I don't have to say all this. New York City, you can't carry shit. Most knives you can't carry, right? And look at the crime. Now Chicago is a little different. We have a little bit more freedom, but the crime was already so bad. Like when they took away that law, I think they wound up losing it in court because it was like proven in court. I'm not sure, like, I don't want to be lying here, but something about like where they won in court saying that it violated their Second Amendment rights because they basically disarmed the people that were getting robbed, and people were getting robbed like crazy. And they still are, but it's different because at least now people have the right to, or the ability to defend themselves. But there's so much crime though that it's very hard to stop without enacting other policies and other things, you know. And it's not like just anybody can carry. You know, you have to have the concealed carry license, and, you know, you got to have an FOID first to own it. Then you got to have the concealed carry license, which, you know, you got large populations of people that all have crime, you know, charges, you know, even if they're good people, even like myself, right? I'm a fucking felon, but you know, like now, you know, like, you know, I'm a good person, but like, and just like a lot of other people, like they could be really good, hardworking people, but they have things, you know, where it prevents them from being able to do that. So they have to carry black powder if they want anything, which is dumb. Macon, Georgia, it was mandatory to own a gun or a shotgun. I think that's smart. I like that. I like the sound of that. I honestly do. I think that's a smart thing, because I honestly think, and nobody has to agree with me, it doesn't matter, but I honestly think if you're raised with firearms, raised at least to have went shooting, to have went and used them and trained with them to some extent, right? Where you actually understand them, right? That's when you don't have all these false narratives and all these crazy shit come out, because people, politicians, whoever, are allowed to just scream lies because people don't understand. Like, I couldn't tell you how many people I've talked to that think that semi-automatic means that it's a fully auto, or that, like, you know, or that assault rifle is a real thing. And, you know, like all these things, like or that like people walk around with military grade weapons and things like that. Like the craziness that people actually believe because they're told it and they hear it is mind blowing. But if they actually knew firearms and had shot firearms and been to the range and did all this and were amongst a community that explained this is how it works, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it winds up being, in my opinion, a lot better. People understand them because, not saying I didn't have my accidents that we just talked about, right? Things happen, but people are a lot safer with firearms when they understand them. Raised to respect them and assume everyone has them. Thank you. Think things would be different. Yeah, I do. It depends on where, but yeah, I think in certain, yeah, I do to some extent. I think so. I think a lot of things though, like, and not just that. I think a lot of things tie into it. So I think in some areas maybe not, but it just depends. I mean, we go into a tangent about different things, right? But just that I think is an important thing, in my opinion. It makes people respect it, understand it, understand how things work. And knife rights too, same thing. I believe in knife rights. Some of these states are nuts. Yeah, well, I think that's just, that to me is, I said this earlier to somebody. Somebody left a comment and they said, how'd they say it? They said, why are so many people so crazy over these expensive knives? And they said something about their Mora is a perfectly good knife. Or no, why is everybody trying to reinvent the knife? My Mora works just fine. It's a perfect knife, right? And I said something along the lines that, I think a lot of people like to carry pocket knives for one, not a fixed blade. And I said, and since the beginning of time, we have needed and used knives, and it was a privilege to have a good quality knife. Man has always tried to make the best quality knife out of the most premium materials they could possibly make. And if you had a good quality knife, at one time, long time ago, that was a statement. And in some cases said what part of society you were from, like how much money you earned and things like that. Because it was, like I said, it was a privilege to own a good quality knife, a good quality sword, have good quality tools, right? And there was even times, or actually in many cases, where knives were passed down from generation to generation, and it was a statement to own a badass knife, something you could pass down to your son, or even something that you were proud of, right? I think it's genetics. I think it's in our DNA of existence that knives have always been there as a tool of our survival. And I don't think anything's changed. I think a lot of people still look at them, because they are, it's still a tool for survival, a tool that maybe it's not so detrimental to our survival today, but I still think it's still part of our DNA to respect it and to like it and love it and see the not only the beauty in it, but the use and just so many things. And and I think we like the thought of a good quality one, one that is built tough, one that can last, one that can maybe be passed down, things like that. But and where I was going with that I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but where I was going with that is that they've made these things, these cutting objects that we've never been able to survive in history without, illegal in certain places because of the way they open. That fucking makes no sense. And like I said, said many times, and it's because of movies. Movies made them scary. So movies and media made them scary. And people that don't understand them are fearful of them, kind of like the firearms thing, right? They're fearful of something they don't understand. So then they make things illegal because the only thing they understand of them is what they've seen in the movies. So they don't understand that this opens just as fast and probably twice as deadly, right? Or that's not how that thing works, right? Like, and so they'll make these laws up based around some movie that they seen that was scary to them, or that only dangerous bad guys carry those, or only assassins carry those. Like one guy in my comments said something about the reason why it's illegal is because assassins carry it. Like I wanted to, I wish I could have just showed him my head, like, because assassins carry it? What fucking movie are you watching? Where are all these assassins at that are jumping out with gravity knives, killing people? What the fuck are you talking about? Where is this statistic? Please show me the statistic of all these assassins jumping out of bushes with fucking gravity knives. Like, it doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Kitchen knives are the most likely knife. If you're going to have a knife injury or, attack or whatever, it's going to be by a kitchen knife, most likely, not by a $350 gravity knife. Like, come on. Like, but people that don't know, they don't know. And they think assassins and ninjas and fucking bad guys walking. And also how they affiliated gangs with them back in the day, whether it was Italian mobsters or, whatever gangs, like just gangs, period. So people associated OTFs, butterfly knives, gravity knives with gangbangers, and that the only people who carry those are dangerous people doing you harm. When it's not like there was any truth to it. I'm not saying that they might not have had some sometimes, but so did other people, right? But the point is that there's no statistical data showing that people are out getting harmed by these things more than other knives. That's my point. So there's no reason to make something illegal because of the way it locks, opens, or anything like that. That part doesn't make sense. I'm not going after anyone with any of my knives. You think I want to scrub blood out of my pivot, right? And you think you want to have to ditch your $350 fucking knife? Might have to get rid of this thing. Dunk it in bleach. Ruin my micarta, damn it. According to Knife Rights, Pennsylvania is close to approving automatic knives. Nice. Bang, gang, bang, gang. Nice, nice. Hell yeah. No, shout out to Knife Rights. Knife Rights. My mouse isn't working. Sorry, guys. Shout out to Knife Rights. Doug Ritter does us so much justice, man. He fights for our knife rights in all these states and is doing it behind the scenes. A lot of you guys don't even know what Knife Rights is. Doug Ritter started Knife Rights. He's also the designer of the Hogue Ritter RSK MK1 by Hogue Knives, and he runs Knife Rights, which is an organization that fights all these ridiculous knife laws. He also has like a survival book or something like that too. Look him up. You can look up his organization. You can donate to the organization. I've donated to it. I'm definitely going to donate again this year. Or you can buy one of his knives. That also helps the cause, but it helps them get the funding to go and fight these ridiculous laws. Stas 23 is in the house. Shout out to Stas 23. Go and follow his channel. Awesome dude. Definitely go and follow Stasa 23. Just another day. Yes, the OG Griptilian, right? The OG. Constitutional carry sweeping country, which is great. But what about knives and fishing and etc.? I don't understand the question. What about knives and fishing and etc.? I think it all should be fought for. My opinion, and I don't care if anybody agrees with me or not. Most things should be legal, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck. Like, to me, and I've said this a lot. To me, the one thing I think is the most important thing, especially here in the USA, is freedom. We are losing it so much, and it's inch by inch by inch by inch, and a lot of times we don't even realize it. By the next generation, they don't even know because they never knew the freedoms they had before. We have to protect all these freedoms. There's a reason why everybody wants to come here, and it's because of freedom. because they don't have them. And you know how many comments I've gotten from, I couldn't tell you, countless countries after my one video saying, I can't even carry a knife. I can't even own a knife. Like all these things, like I can't carry any knife. The only knife I can carry is maybe a butter knife, and I better be spreading butter, like things like that. Like, and it's mind blowing to me, but that's how they do it. And it's not just knives. Like knives is just one thing. Like you can go across the board with so many things. So to me, any type of freedom, if it's something that you think you should be able to do, then to me it should be protected, because this is America. And people start forgetting that, because the further we get in time, the more restrictions they lay on us, the more we start talking like this, right? The more we start talking about, are you allowed to carry that? Right? This is fucking America. You should be able to carry whatever the fuck you want. Right? That's the way I look at it. But that's how it is. Right? And we're going to do that with everything. Soon it's going to, soon it's going to be like, did you pay for that oxygen? Like, I mean, it's crazy to me. Like, I know that was, pretty far off, but you know what I mean? Like, it's the line just, it's crazy to me how much we give up and freely based off of fear when we shouldn't. Our number one thing in this country that we should all agree on, we don't have to agree on anything else. There's only one thing, and that's freedom. If it violates your freedom, we should not accept it. I don't care what side of the field you're on. I don't care about anything fucking else. Nothing else. We can argue about all the other stuff. Let's just agree on the one thing, that we want to protect our freedom. We want to be able to be free people in this country, to do with what we please, when we please, how we want, and things like that. Yep, it's a self-reinforcing principle. Even drugs like heroin should be legal. Facts. You take it at your own discretion. Facts. Self-reinforcing, if you take it, eventually it will destroy. Right. You're going to do it anyways. That's how it goes. Right. And I think there's some profits to that, to them. So I think that's why they like it illegal, to be honest. I did notice that they're trying to federally make marijuana legal now. I can imagine why, but not going to go into that. But yeah, I agree. I think everything just should be, because it's your choice. You're going to do it and get it anyways. That's the thing. Like it's never been difficult for me to find heroin. I agree. My husband is a Vietnam Marine veteran. Shout out to him, man. Thank you for his service. Or thank him for his service. Let's do a call ends now. Send me your number. I can't, man. Maybe next time I will, but we only have 13 more minutes, and I'd have to make up a fake number. I've done that before, but I gotta do a fake number. I can send links for you to come in screen to screen, but I'm not going to do it right here. If you want to do it next time, though, I will do it, and I'll put a link in the chat for you guys to come in. And you guys can come in. I don't mind talking to people. But just make sure you're here Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Wednesdays and Saturdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we go live. If you guys ever want to do that, maybe we'll do that for story time at 9 o'clock. I'll throw the link in the chat. Or maybe I'll do it in the beginning if I don't have a lot to talk about. I draw the line at not being able to fart in elevators. Right. Should that even be a thing? Oh. The messed up thing is you can get a weed card, but then forfeit concealed carry rights. Seems like entrapment to me. There's always a gimmick. Always a gimmick to everything. That's why I'm always suspicious that thing. And I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or nothing, but at this point, I don't even think I think you're the conspiracy theorist if you don't think fucking shit happens behind, Anyways, but I always think about that every time something happens. I always think about, why did this happen? What are they trying to stop me from seeing by making me look over here? It's kind of like playing with a cat, right? It's like you pull the string over here so the kitty looks over there, while you take their toy over here. Yeah, I've also got a single handcuff that rather unique with a T handle to drag the person off with. Why? Why do you have that, Jay? Oh, our freedoms are one generation away from extinction. Ronald Reagan. He wasn't wrong, right? But that's why it's up to us. It's on us. It's on us to protect them. Very true. Very true. But I mean, it's on us, man. It's all on us. And I'm not saying like that there's not strong manipulation making motives and things like that. And it's easy to be fooled in today's society because they control all of this. They control all of this. So it's easy to put things in front of you and make illusions that narratives and stop people from seeing certain things and make things disappear. It's crazy. Like, I could go on and on about that. You are no longer required to have a CCW to conceal carry. That's amazing. Oh, you're talking about are you talking about for knives or for firearms? Because I did hear Ohio pass a thing now where they can carry OTFs and gravity knives and things like that. But I didn't hear about the concealed carry though. That's awesome, man. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. And that's something that, like, to me, it's like, that's a win, man. That's a win. Keep winning shit like that. We got to keep up with wins like that. It's weird how slippery the slope goes, though, isn't it? Isn't it weird that it had to get to a certain point till people started buying like firearms like crazy and started actually thinking, oh, these things can actually happen? Like, as if society, can't just crumble like that. And it's like, then people all of a sudden, were comfy on the couch thinking, oh man, I'm not so comfy anymore. It's probably a good idea for me to start thinking about last case scenarios. But it's so weird to me. Like, I've never been comfortable. So, like, and I don't mean to sound crazy or anything, but like, I've always been uncomfortable. I've never been like stable like I am right now. But like, just growing up and everything, I was always home to home to home to home and like crazy places and crazy things going on. So like, I've always felt like I was always on my toes. So I've always been ready for things to collapse. I mean, I've had to move out in the middle of the night multiple times. That's awesome, man. Good for you guys, bees. That's amazing, man. Good for you guys. That's a win. That's a win in my book. Plus D metal. It's M390 high in carbon fiber for 125. Come on, no brainer. In Tennessee, we shoot you if you walk in our lawn. Bang. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I'd at least give a warning, but I see where you're going, though. I see where you're going. Hey, you passed that no trespassing sign there, boy. No, you're not walking off now. You're already here. No turning back now. Look at the shiny thing, stupid. Look at it. Don't look away. They call it American dreams because you have to be asleep to believe it. Fuck, man. Damn. That was some spit right there. Bars. Medford knives are overpriced stamped metal. I disagree, but I mean, to each their own. I don't like all their models, but I do like some of their models. I love my Slim Midi. I got the big USMC fighter up there, and I understand what they're going for, man. They're going for that big badassery, but they're not for everybody. They do have good heat treats, though. Man, their tolerances are tight as shit. People who collect guns are cringe? That's just crazy to me. I can't believe you'd say that. People who collect firearms are cringe. Well, I'll tell you what. Those guys would probably be the guys you'd be looking for if you needed one. or if something bad happened, which is very likely. Is it crazy here on the south side of Chicago? Or it is crazy. Oh, Deborah, you're on the south side? I'm not far from you. I'm around the Chicago area too. It is crazy here on the south side of Chicago. Yeah, south side's a motherfucker. Do you offer sharpening service? I watch too many knife tubers. Hard to keep track of who does. Yes, I do. If yes, do you have a price guide out there somewhere? Most knives are $30 a piece. I do offer more affordable sharpening if you request it, but most edges are $30 a piece plus the shipping cost. So whatever priority shipping is, you have to add that into the cost. So depending on how many knives, blah, blah, blah. But it also depends on what you want sharpened. But that's usually the max price. That's usually what all knife, most edges cost, but I do offer more affordable sharpening. So if you have something you just want tuned up, or, you just, want a working edge on something like that, or a belt edge. I also do belt sharpening, like on like cheap kitchen knives, or even any regular knife. I mean, it's just like a factory edge. Basically, it's a belt sharpened edge. So you just got to contact me on Instagram or through email. I am backed up right now in comments, so it might take me a couple days to get to your comment, but just message me on email or Instagram. I'll see it and I'll talk to you. On Amazonia, you still gotta wait 3 weeks, right? They aren't in the USA, are they? On Amazon, still gotta wait. What are you talking about? The Two Sons? On Amazon, yes, you do have to wait about 3 to 4 weeks, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for Two Sons, if that's what you're talking about. Personally, I prefer Cold Steel for crazy big knives. True. That can be beaten to hell and still survive along with Demco 80/20. Yes, I agree. The 80/20 is like one of the ultimate hard use knives next to the Cold Steel 80/10, the Formax, things like that. The Cold Steel knives are the ultimate hard use knives for sure, because they're super comfortable. They're just badassery all the way around. 100% agree. That's the ultimate hard use knife. But when you want titanium and you want the badassery, right? Like, I'm talking about more extreme than just hard use, just the badassery. Medford, they have the hard use, tough, big, overbuilt, thick, ridiculous knives, but they also have slimmer knives now. I haven't tried the Praetorian Slim, and I want one so bad. I almost bought one the other day. I was like this close. It was in the thing. I was second guessing myself. Didn't wind up doing it, but who knows? But the Praetorian Slim, the manual version, I want to try it so bad. I have the Slim MIDI, and I love it. So I can only imagine I'll probably love that too. But that's a nice EDC knife. That's a slim, thin behind the edge knife. Damn it, I want to try that Praetorian Slim now. I know it depends on the steel, but what stones, grits do you usually start with for your average normal use knives when they need to be sharpened? It depends. But when they need it, what if I'm gonna start sharpening it? Like, I start with the coarsest stone possible. So whatever, 140 grit, and then I should go to 300 grit, and then I'll go to 600 grit, and then I'll either finish at 600 grit, or if I want to go higher, I go all the way up to 5,000 grit, and then strop on, quarter micron or something. It just depends. Different steels take different finishes better. Depends on the angle, depends on a lot of things. I think for a medium grit edge, like if you just want a great medium grit edge, 600 grit is the best. 600 grit, in my opinion, is like the best all-around edge because it's good on every steel. 600 grit is the best on every steel, right? Some steels take good polishes, some don't. All of them take a good 600 grit edge. So that's probably the best bang for your buck type of edge. 600 grit, 17 degrees per side, 20 degrees if you want a really tough edge, 17 degrees if you want slicey yet still good and stable tough edge, 17 degrees. I do not have any South African knives, but I've had a bunch on the channel. I've had the Blomerus knives. I've had a bunch of South African knives on the channel. I love the South African knives because your money goes a lot farther in South Africa. So you can get a full-blown South African custom for a lot less than you pay here in the US. Well, you're still going to pay a good amount, but I'm saying if that same knife was made over here, it would be like double the price. But yeah, there's some amazing knives over there in South Africa. They have amazing work. And you know what's weird? Not weird, but you can always kind of tell a South African knife. A South African knife just has like a thing to it. I'm sure USA made knives do too, but South African knives, they all have this look, even from different makers, that just, it's like, oh, that's a South African knife. And they look good too. They use a lot of precious materials and stuff. Too many trades. Thank you for the 5 bones. Super Vitrify versus Veneve. What's your opinion and who should use them? I haven't used any of the Vitrified. I want to try the Vitrified. I have Veneve stones. I love Veneve stones. I think Veneve stones are for the masses. I think the Vitrifieds are for the crazy fuckers like me. That's what I think. The Veneve stones are like, okay, so if you're just into sharpening, diamond plates. Diamond plates. That's what you need. Diamond plates and some good stropping compounds, a good ceramic stone, and that's it, man. That could be your whole sharpening collection. Stone holder, some diamond plates. You can get ultra sharp diamond plates very affordably, and they're damn good diamond plates. Just as good as DMT, if not better, way more affordable. And you can get some gunny juice and a strop and a ceramic rod and maybe a ceramic plate. But the Veneve stones, that's for the people that do a lot of sharpening, like a lot of sharpening, and you're wanting those premium edges. Like, and I'm not saying you can't get a premium edge with the diamond plates. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you've maxed out your ability on diamond plates, you can bring, if you can't get a good edge on a diamond plate, you can't get a good edge on Veneves because they're still diamond, but they're just resin bonded diamond, but they last a lot longer than diamond plates. And you have the ability to get a mirror edge off of their finishing stone. And they're really, really good quality stones. Now you can get a mirror edge off the other ones too. You just gotta make sure you strop to polish. You can get a mirror edge off the stone with Veneves. So, but they're very expensive, much more expensive, like especially like the Dragon series, they're like $180 a piece. That's 2 stones in one because they're double-sided. But yeah, they're expensive. And then the Vitrified would be for like somebody like me, like that's just crazy as fuck about sharpening and does a shit ton of sharpening like me. Oh, Kevin with the 20 bones. Thanks for your awesome advice and congrats on the 106K. Thank you so much. We still have a party coming, guys. I filled out for my my plaque, the play button. I don't know how long it'll take, probably like a month to get. I always feel like even though I filled out for it, I always feel like it's gonna be like late. Like they're just gonna forget about me. Like I'm on the list and they threw that one to the side. But filled out for it, and as soon as I get it, man, we're doing a fucking party. We're gonna give away some badass shit, and it's gonna be awesome. And then I'll be able to prove to the world that I didn't buy all my followers, subs, and views, because they're going through. Supposedly, they're going through my channel right now to see if I qualify for the play button. I love my Veneve stones and my Atoma. Yeah, that's what I usually use. I usually use my Atoma for my reprofiling stone, and then I go to my Veneves to finish. Even though my first Veneve stone is a very coarse stone, they're just like, if you're really doing a lot, like you can reprofile on them, not a problem. But if you do as much sharpening as me, you want something faster to reprofile on. I've reprofiled on the Veneve stones many, many times, but I want something so coarse that I can reprofile fast as possible, and then move to my Veneves. Just because, if you're doing multiple knives a day, every day, And you need to be able to hog that, especially some of these super steels, man. With some of these heat treats, whew, they can be brutal because especially if you're doing a lot, man. So I think it's good. Like the 140 Atoma diamond plate, that is a hog. That thing removes steel very fast, but it does break in. It breaks down. That's the thing with diamond plates. They wear out. They last a good time. I'm not saying you're not going to get your money out of them, but they wear out. And they're not cheap. That's where the Neevesknives come in. So if you do sharpening as much as me, then a Neevesknive stone is going to do you a lot more justice than a diamond plate because it'll last like 20 times as long. A diamond plate, like my 140, I've had it for a few months, and it's like damn near wore out. But I do like 5 knives a day. So, and sometimes I'm profiling thick ass knives. So, and it's still fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm lying when I say it's damn near wore out. It's like if it was a 140 grit, it's probably 300 grit now. Do you have any quick tips for using a guided system to get the tip and heel? These seem to be my common trouble spots getting into sharpening. Yes. So first and foremost, I have a sharpening playlist on the YouTube channel. I have a sharpening playlist. You can go in there, and I have a if you go to my first Bang Gang live, so it was a few weeks ago, I did my first Bang Gang live. It was a live sharpening. If you watch that, so the second one I did freehand sharpening. If you go to the first one I used a fixed angled system in that video. If you go to that, I explain the tips very well in that. But just right here with me and you with no freehand system available, don't let the stone go past the tip. Stop at the tip. You don't want the tip to go past the halfway point of the stone. And a lot of times I don't even like to let it go to there because you don't want to risk your stone going like this. Like let's picture, and I'll just grab a knife. If my hand is the sharpening, do I have something to simulate a sharpening stone? Yeah, my jewel. Let's say this is the sharpening stone, right? You never, ever, as soon as you get to here, don't let it do that. And I don't mean even like this. See how let me let it focus. Don't let it go like this at all. If it does that, it's already damaged the tip. So what'll happen is you'll go like this and you'll go back and forth, and then you'll just let it go beep, just that little beep. And when it does that, you've already damaged the tip. And now it'll take you however long to get that out now. And it's a long time. And if you've done that 3 times, damn it, that's going to take a long time to get out. So your focus is to never let that happen. Go to the tip and come back. Go to the tip and come back. Work it. And if you see that you're not hitting the tip yet, that's okay. Just keep going, because what'll happen is the tip steel will be a little bit higher than the rest of the edge, and eventually it has to get hit because it's higher than this part of the edge, right? The very tip will just have a little bit of steel up there. So, and then another little trick, I'll just show you really quick. When you're on your system and you've done your sharpening, and now it's like you're at the end of that stone, right? So like you're about ready to flip. Before you flip, you can take your stone and literally go like this. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm just sliding it back and forth. And you can watch it too, like literally like watch the stone so that you can see the side of the stone go right past the tip. Don't go, you can let just that side of the stone go past. Don't let it go past the middle of the stone. Never let the tip go past the middle of the stone that you're using. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But hopefully that helped. Now, I know it can be a struggle because the tips, man, the biggest threat you are going to have is if you let that stone tilt once it gets to the tip. You got to let it stay flat. Don't let it tilt. Make sure the stone just stays as flat as possible. If it stays flat on the edge, you haven't done any damage. As long as that stone stays flat on your edge, you will not damage the tip. Don't let it tilt. That's the biggest thing. Now the heel, you can work it like this, but anytime you work any part of the edge, anytime you work a certain part of the edge, blend it in, blend it in, blend it in. If you work this part of the edge, blend it in, blend it in, blend it in, blend it in until it's all blended in. You never want any scratch patterns not in sync with the rest. You want them all. So like if you see there's some up and down marks here and then the rest of them are going sideways, you got to keep going. You got to keep going till you blend them all in. But I think that's a good way to explain it really quick. It takes longer to get a burr, freehand stones, I mean. There's no difference. Angle is what takes long. Like the lower the angle, the longer it'll take to get a burr. The higher the angle, the faster you get a burr. That's all it is about burr. I can get a burr in 2 seconds with a 30-degree angle. with a freehand or fixed angle system, it's all about angle with either one. But I love freehanding. That's my jam. But I also use a fixed angle system. I do both. I use everything. But freehand will always be my love, but I still love fixed angle systems too. Yeah, I just noticed the tip in the heel seems to have an uneven bevel to begin with on a lot of my knives so far. But the grinds, man. Fucking most companies, you're going to notice this. Most companies don't have even grinds. There's like 1 out of 20 knives I see have even grinds. Like almost none of them have even grinds. And where you're going to see it is when you use a flat stone, everything comes out. Everything comes out. So that's the thing on a belt, when they belt sharpen it, if there's inconsistencies, that is the best it is going to look, because their belt, they can get away with stuff. On a flat stone, you can't get away with shit. So if there's a low spot right here in the middle of the blade, it's going to have a smaller piece of the bevel than right here and right here. If they tilted with their, and I'm talking about the belt when they did the grind, the satin finish, then their edge will be bigger or smaller at the tip. Now, the same thing goes with their sharpening. So their sharpening and their grinding can both be inconsistent. So you might have an inconsistent edge, but really it's the grind, right? And vice versa. So when you put a flat stone on it now you will see where all the inconsistencies were from the factory. Don't worry about it too much. It just is what it is. I personally don't even take offense to it at all. Sometimes I'll try to make it a little even from one side to the other. Like if it's really severe, like if their grind was really off from one side to the other, I'll try to get it as close as possible. But you just do what you can. The grind is the way it is. Work with it. Whatever it gave you, that's what it is. Don't stress out too much about that. Just try to get the best quality edge you can put on it for what you have to work with. That's the best thing I would do. That's what I always try doing. Kirk with the 10 bounce. Thank you, man. Been a minute since I caught you live. Love how you connect the bang gang and just going to the tip on the point. Thanks for what you do. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, man. Yeah, I try not to get rid of all the bang gang info, but I try to pull people in from over there to over there. But yeah, no, the for real information on sharpening, you want to join the Bang Gang Squad, which is the join button right next to, I'll show it to you guys right now so you guys can see it really quick. And if you don't see it, it's because you need to use a computer, because it's sometimes on your actual phones you can't see it for some reason. Where the heck is it? How do I get into it? Your channel. Dang it, that doesn't do it on this device. It doesn't do it either. You gotta do it on the computer, and I can't show you guys my computer right now. Or you know what? Maybe I can take it. Let me see if I can see it over here. Because yeah, it's kind of weird. You don't see them on phones and certain devices. Yeah, I I don't see it over here either. I only see it on the computer. So if you don't see the join button, you want to look on the computer, because on the computer here, I'll just find it right now and show you. On the computer, you will see it as this. So right now, if I show you my screenshot, I'll show you guys what it looks like really quick, just for the people that don't know. You'll see it right here on my phone. Focus. Well, it's right there. It says join right next to the subscribe button. So, but you might have to be on a computer. You might be able to find it on your phone, but a lot of people have to do it off their computer. And there's 3 different tiers, and we do live sharpening, and talk a lot of sharpening stuff. Computer is the way to go. There you go. Thank you. And shout out to all the Bang Gang squad members. Yep, we're about to take off, guys. I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. Remember, the knife sale is tomorrow. We have the Bang Gang live tomorrow, the knife sale tomorrow. So watch out for that. All the Bang Gang members, we can meet up at noon tomorrow for anybody who wants to participate in tomorrow's live sharpening and knife talk, steel talk, whatever you guys want to talk about. And we'll probably be doing fixed angled system sharpening tomorrow. So, but for those of you that freehand, we can bust that out too. But I think we're going to something loose in this. No, we're gonna do fixed angled system sharpening tomorrow. And that starts at noon Central Time. And then the knife sale will be right after that. The patrons giveaway will be on Tuesday. The entry video will be up on Tuesday. And then as soon as I get my plaque, we're doing the big 100K giveaway for the rest of the people. So lots of stuff going to be happening. I know I haven't been posting a lot. It's because I've been catching up with stuff, and it's because we're about to start bringing some fucking heat. So as soon as I catch up, we got a lot. Hey, we got a new member. Shout out to the Bang Gang squad. Steve Yoder, thank you for joining the membership. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully you're there. And like I said, guys, thank you guys for all the support. We got some awesome content coming. I just got some catching up to do, but some badass videos coming. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you to the patrons. Thank you to all the Bang Gang members. Thank you to everybody who joins my lives and hangs out with me. Thank you to all the people that donate during the lives. I can't tell you guys how much that does benefit the channel. It always goes back into the channel, and it's a massive support. Thank you guys. Thank you to all the supporters of the channel, everybody who shows me love, everybody who drops likes, everybody who comments, all the people that help me out in the comment section, because I see you guys helping me out. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Peace.